Do not adjust your radio dial. You are tuned in to the Mark Order Podcast. Join the Mark Order.
Not you, Tony. Is Matt here? Use your fucking eyes, stupid.
He's just listening. He's not
He's
watching.
old as shit. Can't see for fuck all.
He's got to put those Coke bottles on.
He's got to stick his committee up his asshole.
He does.
Oh, man.
Yes, his asshole.
Can't hear
your
you.
mic's not working.
It is funny how this is the only setup that never works for Kate. I see where
That
we
is
rank.
Unbelievably not true. My setup fails all the time at any podcast I do.
I'm just
I
messing with
told
you, Kate.
Tony on Monday night I would be here.
And
He
you
doesn't
are.
listen. He doesn't listen.
He's a
Tony's
fuck
not a
stick.
good listener.
No. He's
Matt and
really-
I look like a gender reveal party.
Yeah, one of you just disappear and we'll know the other one is the gender.
It's a boy.
Oh,
I
it's a
gotta get out of
boy.
the frame.
It's my Doug Furnace shirt.
Nice.
It's looking good. I ordered a new shirt tonight. I can't wait for it to come. I
What
don't
did
know
you
when
order?
it's coming. You'll see it when it gets here. It's a good
Oh,
it's a mashup.
Guys, I think
Everything I love.
I'm about to do damage at Pro Wrestling Tees. I
Why?
need the Blackpool Combat Club stuff. I need that FTR hoodie real bad. It's getting bad. I'm gonna need it.
What Blackpool Combat Club stuff? 'Cause it's funny because Mrs. Money was saying the same thing. She goes, "Is it bad? I want that Blackpool Combat Club thing." I'm like, I don't think so, but I don't. I
Moxley
also don't
shirt
know.
tonight.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to the
It's-
fashion.
It's really cool. It's like one of those things that people wouldn't be like, "Is that a wrestling shirt?" Like it's a pretty badass hoodie, regardless.
Why have most wrestling shirts not figured that out yet? That the best
don't
thing
know.
you could do is not make it look like a wrestling shirt.
Yeah, it's either got to be like a rib or it's got to look cool enough that like non-wrestling fans wouldn't be like, "What is that?" That's what I think, anyway.
I don't
you
know.
mentioned Mrs. Money,
Yeah.
Money, and I just want to take this time to
What the fuck is going on with Ryan's camera? Holy shit!
Ryan, what'd you do there? But what is that? What's
Yeah, what's
well,
going on?
It's a green screen.
Is that your whoa?
Oh, we lost Ryan. Anyway,
Better
I
this
want
way.
to take a minute. If you're not in the Shining Wizards Discord, Mrs. Money is fucking crushing it in the exercise
Killing
game.
the Tony Nese program.
I don't
No,
know.
her exercise game, man. She's down like 10 and a
That's-
half, 11 pounds. She's fucking crushing it. And I said, thumbs up in the Discord. But now that I have the public forum, I want to shout out Mrs. Money and let her know she's fucking crushing it.
That's the niece program
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yes,
she's
it's-
doing like
it's
Tony
diet-
Nese's.
and nutrition. Yeah,
Oh, I thought like the Tony Nese program was like
Don't
45
shut
minute
your
baths.
shut your face. Shut up.
That's
By
a
the
reason to
way-
take your phone into the shower.
It is waterproof.
There you go.
They
Telling you,
were-
the people that
They were
watch the
clean clothes
show-
on my bed, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're under
Mhm.
roost.
Okay,
They were on my chair, and then I had to sit down, so they went to the bed.
it's all
My
right.
God.
Thought maybe it was an outfit for later. Maybe you're gonna do an outfit change or something.
No, not tonight. Nobody wore a cowboy hat.
Okay.
Were we supposed to?
Well,
Hangman's
last
reign
week,
is over.
he wore a cowboy hat because of Thunder Rosa.
Nice. Did he paint his face?
Did not, but she didn't have her face painted either last week.
I was just like her.
So yeah, it wasn't pink, but it, we'll give him the credit.
Nice.
He did actually last week, Matt. He did props and voices.
Oh, that's fun. I like
Yeah,
that.
you missed a barn burner last week.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, after you left, it was just out of control. Usually you're the reason we're out of control, which isn't a bad thing, but it was off the goddamn rails last week. I don't know why.
I like it. I'm in. Sign
It
me
was
up.
good.
Yeah, we got weird.
So we should probably say it's the Mark Order podcast. It's Wednesday night.
You know what
Shining
that
Wizards.
means.
Yeah, it's the Mark Order podcast, episode 62. We're 63. 62. Yeah, in a row.
Consecutive in a row.
Yeah. And we're what the fuck? All right, he's still there. I don't know what he's doing, but he's still there.
He's hovering.
Anywho, we are a full house momentarily. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's okay. This is odd. Wait, I can't wait for him to come back. This should be
I am very excited for whatever's about to happen.
Yeah. Anyway, it is a full house at the moment. Matt is going to be with us for the first half because we're going to talk about the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. So we're going to get there. And then Matt's going to depart because he didn't see Dynamite tonight. And we're going to break down Dynamite, the fallout
buddy.
from Double or Nothing. Yeah. Matt hasn't seen it. So Matt told us if it... Oh, wait a minute. Who's that?
It's Roman Reigns of the committee.
This is creepy. I don't like this.
This is very creepy.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Love it.
That's the point.
What? Is that just your belly in front of the goddamn microphone pretending to talk?
What?
Is that a mask?
Roman Reigns.
If you're not watching this,
Look at my face.
I just want Ree to come upstairs.
What in your face?
What'd you guys put in the private chat?
I put a link
T-shirts.
I put a link to that's not what
Okay.
Roman Reigns sounds like at all. But you should be like, acknowledge
Roman
me.
Reigns.
I don't know what this is. I really have no idea what this is.
I sincerely don't know if it's a mask or a shirt. I think it's a mask because it seems close to the microphone. But it's creepy AF.
I really don't like
That's
this.
where it gets creepy, where it comes in and out.
Oh,
I mean,
it's a mask.
Matt is usually a nightmare, but this is the next level.
Yeah, if you're not watching this on YouTube, if you're just listening to this in audio format, go to our YouTube and
But we could shit all the time about Wednesday night gimmicks bleeding over, and I'm pretty sure this belongs on Monday nights.
This
I don't-
belongs in my nightmares.
you know the funny
Does belong in my nightmares.
thing, Kate,
kinda
that you
just
mentioned.
Floating.
Sorry. I realized all my shit just froze, so I was talking and nobody heard anything. Kate, you know the funny thing is, you mentioned about gimmicks bleeding over. The funny thing is, I think I actually was talking to Mrs. Money about. I
Well,
was talking,
all
I was
the
talking to
mystique is
Mrs.
gone.
Money
Ryan,
about
what
the
is
continuity of this show.
what is going on with production tonight? We're seeing Ryan's
Jesus
laundry.
Christ!
Matt
I'm
can't
giving
keep
up.
his mask on straight.
What? It's already off the rails. All right, guys. Well, that was a great show. Make sure you tune in next week. We should just restart this. This is
Guys,
This is
If
what
this-
I'm
if things
used to
get-
be honest.
yeah.
Guys,
No,
if
Matt.
things get too bad, I'll call in the PC police.
No,
Hey!
no. I wish I had like a sound effect board so I could just play police sirens. Anyway, Kate, it's funny because I was saying to Mrs. Money how I feel like our show, there's a lot of continuity between shows. Like you really have to be involved to understand some of the things we talk about on a weekly basis.
Yeah, because
There's
we
a lot of
understand
callback.
long-term storytelling.
That's why we're
Matt.
the A show.
That is correct.
Hey, Matt, what's going on?
Nothing. I had to run downstairs. Reese said there was water in the basement, so I had to go check
Oh.
it out.
Oh, goodness.
We're good
Yeah.
though. No issues.
Okay. Well, that's good.
But there was
It's
it got a little
raining.
weird while you were gone.
What do you mean?
Nothing. We'll talk.
Raining
I'll show
cats
you
and
off. air.
dogs here. Cats and dogs here in Morristown.
Question: Did Ree go with you to check the water in the basement?
She was down there. She said, Matthew.
I was gonna say,
So I
yeah.
ran.
Because
Scope
it
it
feels
out.
like she was trying to get Matt out of the way for someone else to come in. I'm just saying.
I have no idea. I just ran downstairs. I didn't mean to dip.
It's okay.
I did.
Well, you're going to be with us for the first half, so.
Yeah, I didn't get to see Dynamite tonight, which is a bummer because, you know.
Ooh, buddy. You're going to want to run that back.
I've heard nothing but good things. So
yeah.
Hopefully my wife has to clean her equipment for a long time tonight and I can watch some Dynamite.
Excellent. So, Matt, what have you been...
I bet Matt has to... I'm hoping my wife cleans her gun so I can watch my show.
Well, I don't want... I feel like I don't think it's my... I think I need to be... With the way the world is and people are crazy nutso, I think I need to less advertise the fact that she has a hobby like that.
That is extremely fair, and we will protect that.
I don't need...
There's weirdos.
I don't need to throw someone down to 25 steps in front of my house because I will do that 100% to protect my wife, my mother-in-law. So,
well, I mean, she can protect herself.
I was gonna say, based on the hobby, she doesn't need you to do that.
That is true. That is true. But
we don't need to invite any situations.
No, because
I get it.
People are fucking nuts. So I don't need. You know, I got enough problems with people wanting to be part of both shows and fucking tweeting stupid shit at me. So.
I know the feeling.
We're good. So, I just cut it off. Like you're dead to me now. I could give a shit less, but
nice.
Yeah. So,
well, if you want to talk
Here.
about that stuff, Matt, you can go to talk with the PC police about it. They'll talk all day about it. They love it.
I'm good. I'm good with the PC police. I'm gonna pass. I'm the least. You guys know me. I'm not.
Just don't get Twitter jacked.
I'm not very. I would love a Twitter jack right now.
I was waiting for that joke to follow through.
Bang bang! This man knows what's up. So Matt, what else has been going on? Anything good?
I mean, things are good. Just busy with work, and I got some new steps put in. They fixed my steps, so I don't have to worry about dying,
falling down,
slow, lonely death. So in front of my house all by myself when I step through the stairs for a third time.
And you're just bleeding out.
So they came and they fixed that, and they fixed a step in the back, so I don't have to worry about anyone else falling in the backyard, and they fixed the deck, so that's been good, and work was good, and
there goes my plan to sue Matt.
We almost missed out on those Kenny Omega figures today.
That's right. That was a good catch, Matt. No, it was just an exclusive. And Matt quickly texted me, and I was in a meeting, and I was just like, oh, fuck. And I ran there, and I had to, just wait in the queue.
Yeah, I was out in the backyard smashing shit with a sledgehammer.
Nice.
Cody Rhodes style. And then,
who?
Cody.
Who?
Cody Rhodes.
Rody Codes?
And the roller coaster?
Smashing shit. And then I was like, all right, I'm done smashing shit. Let me check my Instagram. I was like, oh, fuck.
Smart man.
I'm like, I got to text AntMoney ASAP.
Well,
ASAP Rock.
We were lucky. We got in it. Looks like Marky Mark Kayfabe got his as well.
Nice. So. And I got to see you and the lovely wife and the little dude last Wednesday at the truck. So that was cool.
Yeah, that was excellent. He loved the pizza. He said it's the I told him last week. He said this is the best truck ever.
It is the best truck ever.
It's the truck that makes pizza.
Yeah, that's it. It's been working. Busy weekend. So we're good.
I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I hear the thunder in my headphones from above my house.
Oh, yeah. It is. I will be here as long as my power is on.
I was driving home and I was like, I actually watched Double or Nothing. I'm excited to talk about it. And I'm like, if my fucking internet or power goes out, these three are going to disown me.
No, we would never.
They're going to disown me.
It would just be like, I can imagine it would just be like, hey, buddy, I'm gonna come visit you at your mom's house this weekend. Don't worry, we're gonna go to like Disney World or some shit like. And then it's just at the 0 hour. Hey, buddy, I'm sorry, I can't come anymore. And then we're just sitting here like it's okay, Dad.
Yeah, I was
Fine.
driving home horrified, like my fucking power, because it rained like Friday afternoon. It poured, and my fucking power went out while I was trying to watch Best of the Super Juniors. I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
Sons of bitches. Well, hopefully the power holds out for you.
Let me ask you a question. Did you listen to the Monday night show?
What was I doing Monday? I did not. I wasn't around. I was out and about on Monday.
I said, we're not going to cover all of it of Double or Nothing, but if you want to hear it, you got to go to the Mark Order podcast.
A show.
All right.
That's right.
All right. See, don't start with. I'm trying to be nice. Now you're starting with these shenanigans. All these little fucking trolls over here are going to start with this bullshit A show, B show nonsense. Why has it got to be a competition? Just like WWE and AEW. Just let it be, bro. They're two great shows.
When did you come from Georgia all of a sudden?
I don't know.
What is it? There's nonsense.
Just let it be.
Like JR.
Just be happy that there's two fantastic shows with 4 people that you really like and one you really hate, Tony, and then one you just don't know what the fuck he's doing, Kevin. Because I texted him today. I said, bro, if you're not listening to the Shining Wizards, I said, 2 weeks ago you told everyone you pee sitting down. Last week you were like, look at me with Facebook birthdays. Then you told people you took a fucking half an hour shower with your fucking phone, dude. I'm like, you gotta stop. I'm like, you're bored. You're either like,
Matt, you told everybody
disabled?
you shit your pants on a regular basis. I don't know.
Not on
if
a
that's
regular
like
basis. No.
Okay, semi-annual basis.
On a regular
It's
basis.
been a while since I've gone.
Been a while.
Which means it's no longer gonna be a while.
Again.
No,
It's
he's
been a
jinxing
while.
himself, Schlong. You know
He's gonna
how
be
this goes.
stained.
Oh,
It's
Jesus Christ.
stay.
No, I'm doing good. No poop pants in myself, so we're good.
Oh man.
That's a good day. at
How
the
are you
office.
guys doing?
Yeah, Kate, what have you been up to? You had a busy weekend.
I'm very tired. This is podcast number 5 of the week, 6 of the week. So I'm tired, but I'm good. Just trying to make some upgrades to the apartment. I have to leave the apartment for a week so that they can come in and do some work. So I'll be in Doylestown, Pennsylvania for a little bit, but I will be in Binghamton for the weekend.
What is Doylestown, Pennsylvania known for?
Nothing.
It's
Yeah.
super cute. It's in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. It's a really, really cute town. But I don't know if they're like known for anything.
They're not.
I'm Googling it.
Isn't there a college out that way? In not in Doylestown, never mind. I'm thinking of Bucknell, but that's not even close.
No.
There's a few colleges out that way, but no.
Community college.
It's like a suburb of Philly, but the town itself is very like villagey and charming.
Okay. Not Amish country.
No.
They
That's
do have hot,
Lancaster.
humid summers.
Well, it's the Northeast.
Do
So.
have that.
Oh, notable people. Margaret
Paul.
Mead,
Kathy.
Okay.
Oscar Hammerstein II.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm getting flashbacks to.
Oh my God, Pink!
It's
Yeah.
Pink.
It's Pink!
And I'm getting
Yes.
flashbacks to our Baltimore trip when we were with the rest stops that were named after everyone, and Matt was like, "I need to know who this is," and it was
Yeah.
like Bon Jovi and poets.
Oh, there's an NFL referee, Scott Green. He's from the area.
Okay.
Oh, of course. Scott
Matt's
Green,
just
there
Joe
you go.
Judge, the former New York Giants football head coach. He was from there.
There you go.
Well, that explains that.
Oh, Jeff Musselman, former Major League Baseball pitcher.
I'm the creator of Muscle Milk.
How come Pink spells her name with an exclamation point?
Because she's edgy.
Probably a legal thing.
All right.
Oh, Rob
Um,
Humphrey with a fact for you, Matt. Hepatitis B Foundation is in Doylestown. Check it out.
There you
Oh,
go.
do I look like Abdul the Butcher?
Well, no, you have your legs.
That's Kamala, dipshit.
Oh,
He's
that's
down.
right. Fuck. Shit.
Also, we
Yeah,
don't
Abdul's
totally
just
know
Mark.
that. We can't see. We only get like a shoulders up of Matt. He might not have legs.
Yeah, it's been so long since anybody's come over the house, so you never know.
Well,
No.
I saw you last week, and right
I
now
know.
I know you still have your legs.
A lot of change in the last week.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh boy.
It was a terrible Memorial Day.
Was it?
No, it was fine. I was gonna make like a my legs got blown off joke, but I felt that was inappropriate. So
It's not. It's also not really a fireworks holiday. Save that one for July 4th.
My wish. How are you, AntMoney?
I'm good. I'm good. It was a nice holiday weekend, and Little Money came home today.
oh,
I
we're
go-
now calling him Little Money.
I don't know. I keep changing the name.
Well, he's not really a baby anymore. So
No,
Little
he's
Money
He's
makes
calling
sense.
him the boy for a while.
Yeah,
You
he's-
can call him
he's
Young
every-
Money.
Young Money. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
He doesn't have enough face tattoos to be called Young Money.
True. So I have to share.
YUNG.
Yeah, Young Money, and somewhere we'll put a 0 for the O because that's, I guess, cool, or a 3 for the E. So I do have to share this. He came home today from school, and I was wrapping up a few things for work, and he comes into the office and he goes, pretty much in this cadence, he goes, "Hey, Dad, look what I have." And he pulls out these 2 papers from behind his back. He shows me this one. And so this is a girl wearing a rainbow crown.
All right,
So
Pride Month.
nice.
I dig it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pride Month, baby.
He said, Penelope drew that for me. And I said, well, that's nice. And he goes, look at this. And it's Penelope wrote her name with hearts on another paper.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
got a
What is your kid,
girl.
fucking Darby Allen?
And he goes, so I go, buddy, that's really nice. And he goes, yeah, she loves me. And I love her.
Oh,
Oh my God.
whoa.
I said, is that your girlfriend? He's like, yeah. So apparently
Oh my goodness.
he's just slaying. He's got to keep the girls away with a baseball bat.
Yeah,
Sorry,
little
Thunder
young.
Rosa. It's Penelope time.
Thunder
Little young
Rosa.
to be slinging that D.
I didn't say slinging. He's slaying it. But that
Yeah,
could
but
be
he's,
anything.
he's got to be
Bro,
slinging
he
it if he's
showed a
slaying it,
piece of
right?
Paper with hearts on it and her name. And
Kate,
you're
we're
like,
so
he's
far
so
out of the game.
amazing.
Things have changed, Kate. Things have changed.
I can tell you this much: he's got Thunder Rosa. He's way in on Red Velvet. He's way in on Chris Statlander. He's
great
got
taste.
Penelope.
What's this
Penelope, not
Penelope?
Ford.
What's she look like? Is she like Kate's doppelganger too?
You know what? I don't know.
He's
I
a
just
35-year-old woman.
yeah, yeah.
Then
It's an administrator at his preschool.
those are some
Good for him.
concerns.
So yeah, apparently he's got a girlfriend now. So we've got
Right.
to
Are you ready for
that?
what, a girlfriend?
the boy having a girlfriend? Yeah.
Listen, he's changing schools next year, so he's gonna have his heart broken.
You better hope he don't turn into no fucking emo like your fucking other half.
Oh, you talking about Danny Magic? Apparently that's the new one.
Como?
Weigh in on the Jericho Appreciation Society. I think he's taking Danny Magic.
That's hysterical. I love
Is
that.
because he makes food disappear? What's this doing?
Oh man. Well, all I know is
Danny Magic. Unbelievable shit.
yeah. So
It's a good one.
I saw him yesterday. So
Yeah, did he do any magic for you?
no.
Pull a fucking
nor
rabbit
is he
out
a
of his
wizard.
ass? Do you have a copy of Tada with him?
No.
Did he
no.
have a one chip with him?
He did not have a one chip. He only did that with Matt, and then Matt drank sour milk. So-
Oh, it was terrible. Don't ever do that. That's a terrible thing.
You didn't shit your pants after the sour milk?
No, we had no issues after that. Pretty good.
He didn't know it was sour because he couldn't taste it.
Yeah, the chip was so hot.
Oh.
It's a great video. Who did I show that video? Oh, I showed it to Pat the other couple weeks ago when he was here.
It's definitely on our YouTube.
Yeah, it was on our Instagram too.
Or not our YouTube, our Instagram. I should probably move it to our YouTube if I can figure out how to get it off my phone.
Ryan, how are you?
I'm good. I've had a less eventful week than everybody, apparently.
I don't know, man. Looks like you're hanging with MIA. That seems pretty fucking exciting, if you ask me.
These guys are crazy.
You know, yeah, man. Fucking Hugh Morris is all saying slanderous shit about Sonny. Van Hammer is hitting people while he's drunk with his car. Lash LaRue's making drawings. He's awesome. And I think that's Chavo behind your head.
It is Chavo.
I don't have anything bad to say about Chavito. So the left side of the picture is great, and the right side of the picture is hitting kids while he's drunk, and he's having his trainees stick their bare asses in each other's faces because we still haven't forgot about that. Bill DeMott, piece of shit.
Oh boy,
not pictured. Major Guns.
Yeah, what's up with that?
And I couldn't find one with her, and I wasn't stretching that hard. So.
Can't you just put a picture of Major Guns up instead of this motley crew?
I can.
Yeah,
slow burn. You can do it next week.
She's part of Misfits in Action.
That's very true.
I mean, Sunny now kills drunk people when she's drunk, so
that's true.
Yes, it's a vicious circle.
Evidently.
Well, hey, congratulations, by the way, to Johnny Depp. Boy, oh boy, that guy came out a quarter winner, huh?
Sure did.
I don't know why I just mentioned that. Oh, because it's scrolling across the bottom of my screen.
Why? What's on your screen?
There's a thing on the toolbar of my computer. It's just
fucking toolbar.
There you go. It's the weather, and then it changes to the news.
I was waiting for that.
To stop it.
It's the weather. Look outside, dicko.
Listen, it's dark. It's nighttime here.
It's
see what
raining. Surprise!
I know it is. You know how I know it's gonna rain? It's raining because my computer tells me raining.
It wasn't the thunder that you heard earlier wasn't clear.
There could be thunder with no rain.
That's true.
Come on.
Blind Melon told us.
What did you oh,
there we go.
Hugh Morris, you're such a ghoul. Just looking at them hitters, son. What did y'all do for the Double or Nothing?
Stayed home.
All right. Yep, we had some issues, did we not?
There were definitely issues. Yes, this is a good. Let's segue into Double or Nothing because we need to talk about.
You don't have to say segue when we segue.
No, I know, but we got to talk about the terrible fucking app. What was going on?
This fucking guy shows up like once every 6 years.
I know, and now he's going to tell.
To say segue when we segue.
Fuck off.
Look, I trim my face.
Matt, you look great.
New look.
Looking good.
Thanks, Kate.
Still don't have to be rude about segues, but
you don't have to say segue when you segue. Just let it be all natural. Not
you
like
don't have to, but why not?
Your facial hair didn't make you look fat. Your face does.
Why? That's unnecessary. Walrus.
Yeah. So the big issues was the goddamn Bleacher Report app was all fucked up again. They got to fix that.
Now, Ryan's shaking his head like, no, he had no issues. Kate, did you have any issues?
I did in the beginning, and then it was fine. Like, right at the start it did, and then it was totally fine after that.
Well, wait.
But missing MJF's intro? That sucked.
Oh, you're talking the beginning, like the pay.
Well, that's way late.
Yeah, because everyone else said they had it at the pre-show, which I watched on YouTube. I didn't watch the Bleacher Report.
Yeah, I think that's why I had issues at the beginning of it, because I watched the pre-show on YouTube, then turned on the pay-per-view, and I was having issues then. So I think it was whatever happened when you started. But I was able to, I just rewound it. I didn't miss a ton. And then when we got to something that was like a promo package I'd already seen or whatever, I just went back. Because unlike Peacock, you can rewind on the app at least, but it's just consistently a huge issue. So
it's a terrible app.
Yeah, they need to fix it. I should have just bought it on Fight. That was stupid.
Was it available on Fight?
It was available on Fight.
Was it?
No, I thought you needed a VPN for that.
Yeah, I thought it was
international only. Yeah.
I knew there was a problem when I ordered it on Friday, and the website said there was a problem with your card, and then my email said, "You have made a successful purchase." And I was like, this is gonna be
Jesus, tap dancing Christ.
this is gonna be a fucking. So I got home. I slept for like 4 hours Saturday into Sunday. It was fucking hot as fuck. Like, I just want to go home and take a shower and watch this fucking pay-per-view. And I invited everybody over. And everybody had other plans, which is fine. But my buddy Alex came over, and I said, he walked in, I said, "Look, dude." I go, "Something's fucking up with this goddamn app." Because then you would try and click on a button and it would say purchase again. No, I don't want to I already fucking purchased
I got that
it.
shit too. Yep.
See, now
Error.
here's the
Error.
funny thing. The funny thing is I didn't have that issue. If I pulled the app up on my phone, and I went to my events and it was there. At first, when I pulled it up, it said, $49.99 or whatever it was. But when I clicked the picture, it opened up to play. And it would play on my phone, but it would not open up in my Roku. So that was the fix. So I tried doing everything with the Roku. I tried to update the app. App was updated. I tried to unplug the Roku. I thought maybe it was on too long or something, So I unplugged the Roku, did all that. So what I was doing until I saw all the notices saying that the app was fixed was I was able just to pull it up on my phone, and I mirrored my phone to my TV. So I also was like, I hope nobody texts me, because then all my texts are going to show up on the screen, like all the pop-ups, and it like I don't have anything that's going to pop up, but it's just annoying then to have all the things show up on the TV. So luckily it started working for me on the Roku right at the point where it was the Hookhausen match.
Okay.
I don't know, like you said, I bring it up, Kate, because you said you couldn't even get it to work until MJF after his entrance. I had it before that, but I also didn't have the problems where it was telling me I had to repurchase it. Matt was having that issue, right, Matt? It said you had to purchase it again.
Yeah, it wanted me to purchase it again. Then when I clicked on it, it wouldn't let me purchase it. And I was like, well, no, I'm not going to fucking buy it twice. And then I would go into my events, and it would be there. And then I click on it, then I get an error. Then I fucking close down the app on my phone, and I go to my laptop. Then I do the same thing, but then it wouldn't be there would be no events in my events. I was, man. And then finally I got it to stream to my TV, but that was glitchy. I'm like, Alex, I know you drove like half an hour to be here, and I know this is like a big deal for you because you never leave the house. I'm going to throw my fucking TV out the front window in about 5 seconds because this fucking app. And then Ant was texting me about it too. It did get fixed, I'd say like 3 minutes before the Hookhausen match. And then was fine the rest of the night.
Yep.
But just that window at the beginning, like, man, I just want to fucking turn it on and it be
Wait,
good.
did you all use Roku?
No, I was on my projector.
What do you? Oh, but don't you still need an app for that?
No, I just from my computer streamed it, like from the
Oh, okay. Because I
website.
was wondering maybe that's why mine was better. I was using my iPad and Chromecasting to a TV, and I didn't have any problems. But
No,
No, it was
mine
just
was
that.
off the website.
Yeah, it was apparently a wide thing because they were saying it. I heard on YouTube, they kept saying like, hey,
they
we
did. They told you when it was
issues.
fixed.
Yeah, and it's fixed.
But now
So-
the playback also wasn't available for 72 hours. It's like the first
Bleacher
time they've
Report
ever.
sucks.
Yeah, it's like the first time they've ever run a pay per view. It's
Yeah. Do you remember what was it? Not.
yeah, when you lost your mind.
Oh my God. I couldn't watch the fucking playback the next day. I was fucking furious. The next day, not like an hour later. The next fucking day, I couldn't watch the playback.
Now it's 72 hours. That's fucking nuts.
Murder all of fucking Dave Portnoy, everybody. That's Barstool, not Bleacher Report. It's all
Okay, you can still murder point.
Yeah, please
Portnoy.
do. He sucks.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. I work on a fucking pizza truck. I had a fucking $1 for every asshole that went, one bite, everybody know the rules. I'd be a fucking bazillionaire. I get it, asshole. Just eat the fucking pizza.
I mean, you
Dipshit.
are already a millionaire, so it's like less of a jump than for other people, but still
No,
a decent amount.
bazillionaire is huge. That's huge.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Like Major
a
Guns.
shorter jump for you than for me.
I don't know, Kate. What's this? Your 6th podcast this week?
It doesn't mean I'm making millions, but yeah, this is
You're
number
getting
6.
some Skrilla though.
Get a little bit, yeah.
All
Get a
right,
little bit.
more than the rest of us are getting.
And don't forget, by the way, as you talk about Kate's many podcasts, Kate's also going to be doing the color commentary. Is it this weekend, Kate, or next weekend?
It is. It's this Sunday.
Okay, this
Sunday.
Who is it, Kate? Just remind us of the promotion. Is it Excite?
Excite Wrestling?
Okay.
LSG and TJ Epics in a steel cage. It's kind of like the big and the 607 tournament, but it's fun. Friend of the
Okay.
show will be there.
It's really going to be fun because Kate has to work 23 skidoo into the commentary. Don't forget about that one.
Oh, how could I?
23 skidoo. Anyway, back to Double or Nothing.
I say you just say it. Well, just say it. Just fucking say it. Like,
Just in no
just say it.
context.
Be like, my name's Kate from the
Fun.
Fightful and Mark Order podcast. 23 skidoo.
Do.
That's it. Just get
Oh
out
my
of the
god,
way
if that
early.
became your thing, like anything time something exciting happened, 23 skidoo.
Oh my god, Joey Styles. You'd be like the female version of Joey Styles.
Oh my god! In this great sport,
Yeah, but instead of saying "Oh my god" or "this great sport," you could just yell 23 skidoo.
Skidoo. I'd still be better than Velvet.
Don't get me started because her fucking dickhead ex-boyfriend is now doing commentary on that fucking pay-per-view.
Is he really?
Yeah, for some fucking match.
Gross.
Wait, who's that?
Bully Ray.
Oh, they broke up?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I don't follow.
Bro.
For
Oh,
the
shit.
heat.
What a shame.
Like that Ryan says I don't follow that, like he's not the TMZ correspondent.
I
of
normally
the
am, but I don't
podcast.
follow them, like that specific group.
I don't blame you.
So the other thing too, because I see in the chat some people were saying about going to the movie theater. So I had floated it out there to this group. Maybe we should check it out in a movie theater, only because this was the first time, and I had mentioned this to Kate and Ryan after we went off the air last week. This was the first time they were doing it at the movie theater by where I live. So they were doing it down by the mall. And okay. And
Name dropping malls.
so I checked it out, and actually I think there were the only seats left in that theater were in the front row and 2 seats off to the side, like in the second row. So they sold that theater. It wasn't a huge theater, but they sold a lot of tickets for the show. But I am so fucking glad I didn't do it in a movie theater because of how long this show ran.
Same.
Crazy.
Too fucking long, and for the dumbest reason I ever heard.
Yeah. I mean,
I did not have a problem with the length of the show, but I'm also used to watching New Japan shows. So
Well, that
I
was
mean-
kind. Did anyone listen to the post show, the press conference?
yeah.
Because
well-
Tony Khan brought that up like a few times. He's like, it's still shorter than our Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the comments in the scrum. Let's run through this show real
are
quick.
you
We're not-
ready for a pay-per-view?
It's a long night when you start a post show at fucking 1 a.m.
Well, the crazy thing too is don't forget, they're in on the West Coast time, so it was really just like what 10 o'clock local time.
Oh, good for them.
I'm just saying, Kate, it's like 10 o'clock local time, so
Nobody twisted your arm into doing a post show.
that's right.
I'm just saying it would be nice to end before 1 a.m.
You think Don LaGreca's upset when the hockey game goes into triple overtime? He's got to do a post show.
He seems
What he
upset
signed-
about
what
everything
you
all the
signed
time.
up for, son.
I'm just
Don't
saying I would prefer to start it an hour earlier. Is that because we had to get this TNT bullshit and Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin on the card, like,
They didn't
Listen.
want the-
which
they
was
didn't
one of
want
my
the main
favorite
event-
matches. Could have
they
been
didn't
an
want the
A.
main event to start while the basketball game was on. He was very clear with that on Friday.
I would love to see the analytics behind that decision. Like, did they
Tony
really think it was?
Schiavone was still shilling it? Tell your friends.
Let's run through the card real quick. Let's run through the card. We don't have to go through all the picks and
Hey,
shit.
you
Let's
guys
run
made
through the card.
picks. How did you guys do?
No idea. I didn't have the picks.
What the
so I
fuck's the
didn't
point
even
of
look.
making picks if you guys aren't going to keep track of them?
I don't know.
Onesies.
Kate took them.
I took them. I'll total them, but we don't do anything with them, so it doesn't totally
I don't
matter.
know. Then what's the point of making them?
So it makes sense. It's just like
Funsies.
power rankings.
It's like the rankings, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get to make my picks. No one asked me.
You weren't
We should
here.
have sent them in, Kevin.
Cheating sons of bitches. That doesn't count
Matt
for anything.
is
I went
the
8-5
best.
on the Wizards, so
Oh, good for you.
Barely passing.
no, it was terrible. I did terrible. That's not a great showing.
So running through the card.
Run it.
Hookhausen
Oh.
defeats Hookhausen defeats Smart Mark Sterling and Tony Nese.
Mrs. Money's muse,
Yes.
the 3M.
A Vision in gold, apparently. Smart Mark took the pin there, so no hurt on Nese. And then we get into the main show. So let's pause right away. The first match we get is MJF versus Wardlow. And we'll talk about it as we get into Dynamite tonight after Matt gets here. But at this point in the week, lady and gents, I did not believe there was any issue here. He was going to show up. He was going to do what he was going to do. And that was going to be it. MJF did lose by pinfall with the Powerbomb Symphony. So,
Lose is putting it loosely.
well, he got murdered by like 10 power bombs.
He got 0 offense in. It was really weird.
Well, I
When
mean,
you factor in all the news from the weekend,
See, I think that was always
like
going to
Vince
be.
McMahon. Like, ha, I'll let you out of your contract, pal, but you're gonna get powerbombed 10 times.
He
Go ahead,
showed
Ryan.
up very late, so I don't think there was a lot of time to put a match together.
But I think that was always going to be the match. I mean, that was kind of what he did to CM Punk. Same thing. Like he powerbombed all those times. Like that was just, it was always going to be a squash because that's all people wanted. They didn't want a back and forth. They just wanted to see MJF get
but
destroyed by
that's-
Wardlow.
His character is like a cheating, conniving little shit where he
Yeah.
he
There would have
like,
been mind
it's like
games.
the simple things like where he goes to lock up and he gets pushed into the ropes and then he dips outside and as the ref breaks him up, he fucking pokes Wardlow in the eye. Like we didn't even get anything like that. Like it was straight annihilate. And this is the dude who challenged for the AEW world title, had a great program with CM Punk. Like it was just, and maybe it's just me being a fucking mark and putting like all of this weird shit together from the weekend. It just seemed like it was like, I'll give you what you want, but you're doing this for me. And I know it was on Dynamite and cut a scathing promo, and I don't know about what tonight. But I guess he's not going anywhere, or is
No.
he? There's Ryan's close.
What is going
go
on
back
with
to the
that?
way it was, Ryan. I just wanted to see Major Guns again.
I just want to see your laundry again.
Can we get Major Guns doing your laundry? 'Cause then everybody wins.
I doubt it, but I'll try.
I don't know. It was just weird. Like it was a weird. The whole thing was a weird vibe, and then the fucking shit with the stretcher and that weird like. It wasn't a man. There was like a plastic bag they put over his nose.
It was supposed to be an oxygen mask, but they didn't even cover his goddamn mouth.
Whole thing.
Well, he
was-
also took it off to yell at fans, which I
Yeah.
thought was very funny. Like he needs to yell at fans more than he needs oxygen. Yeah, no, it was a shame because this was such a perfectly built story, but it was completely overshadowed by what happened on the weekend. And then he showed up, I think, 90 minutes before the match, and they didn't really have anything to put together. And then he left immediately after the match. So I think he came to do the match to not hurt Wardlow. But I don't think this match got the payoff for the story that was built, which is a shame. And I think it overshadowed the match. Now he got his ass booed real loud. I liked when he did the like plane flying before the match. And I liked the spot with when Bryce took the ring and he was looking up at Wardlow. That was great. But yeah, it just, for how perfectly the story was built out, it was completely overshadowed, and it was literally like a Hurricane Rana and then a bunch of power bombs. So
See, like that, even like the littlest thing, like the ring, like Bryce puts in his pocket. Tony Khan got his ring back. Like it's just all fucking me listening to too many fucking Conrad podcasts.
what do you
I
mean?
didn't have a
Is it
problem.
just all? It's all like this seems like if you're gonna be like this, like you're gonna get stretchered out, you're gonna get smushed, and I'm taking my fucking ring back.
Well, at that point, I don't think they knew what was going on. He showed up 90 minutes beforehand or something. Like, I think they were just glad he was there and they were going to do what they could do. And then they had a meeting after it. Right. So I think you have to get the ring back because you don't know what this dude is going to do.
I mean,
I always assumed he didn't travel with the ring.
Well, he didn't give it to Bryce. Like,
I mean, I just always assumed someone at AEW held it and they gave it to him before he walked out for the matches.
oh, I think storyline wise, they wanted Bryce to have the ring back in case MJF.
Oh, I don't. I see.
To me, that
I didn't even think about that because, to me, I thought this was how the match was going to always go. Was going to be a heavy squash, only because of the Punk match, which is they've already proven Wardlow can just beat down anyone at any time, and this was all about MJF getting his comeuppance and being like, "Oh, you've tried all your tricks, do this, do that, none of it worked. The one thing you didn't want to do is be in the ring one-on-one with Wardlow, and here's why." But you'll never know because it's been overshadowed. This could have been the design from day one, but we'll never know. Well, we'll probably 10 years from now when someone's doing a podcast about it, but we won't know for a while because as much as I say this, you can be like, well, we don't know. Everything else came into play because of what happened over the weekend.
I think it was a lot of work in, and I think what happened tonight.
Yeah. Well, I think
there was a lot of work going on. I do.
I think a lot of work happened after.
I think there was some before, some after.
You don't no-show a meet and greet where people paid $150.
Bro, people paid $500 to meet him, and he sat there and gave the finger and ate yogurt.
That's what, but they pay for that.
Oh, what kind of?
You don't no-show for a work.
Probably fruit on the bottom.
It. I saw the plane ticket. I wasn't supposed to. It did not start as a work. They'd be idiots not to turn it into one. But I think it was not a work until they had whatever meeting they had, and he signed a better deal. Good for him. He fucking earned his paycheck tonight with that promo. But this did not start as a work. This started as a shoot 2 months ago.
Yeah, 2 months ago. And I think it's turned into a work.
I think it's turned into one, but what happened this weekend, like the no-show at the meet and greet stuff was not, that was not work.
I don't think we'll all know for sure. I think that's the one thing is it definitely could have been a work. It could have.
Yeah, but I asked this to Tony the other day, and I'm going to ask you guys before I go make a drink.
Sure.
What do they gain from it being a work?
That's my point. You've overshadowed your entire card. You've killed the storyline you've been telling for the last 3 years by no showing a meet and greet. Like that work actually hurt some of that stuff. So I think he no-showed because he was pissed off. They worked out whatever they worked out, which is why you have them working it now. Because what are you going to do? It's already happened. You have to make the best of it.
And why wouldn't you? It's a great story now.
Well, but also just think about all the talk that was happening all weekend. He didn't show. Is he going to show to the pay-per-view? What are people going to do? They're going to go and buy the show and see if he shows up.
Or what if that's the match you're looking forward to? And I'm like, I'm not tuning in to see fucking Savio Vega be a member of DX.
Well, I mean, that's completely different. But
that was the thing, though. It was DX and a mystery opponent against.
Sure,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, but
and you're alien. Look, if I paid fucking money to go see Jay White and you give me fucking Yoshihashi, Jay White didn't show up, and you're like, "Oh, sorry, you're not getting your money back. Go meet Yoshihashi." I'd be like, "Fuck out of here, man! Give me my motherfucking money back." Give a shit about Brandon Cutler. Give a shit about fucking Dante Martin. I wanted to meet MJF. That's a fucking shitty move, man.
And the word was you had the opportunity to get your money back.
You're still pissed off that you went, and also
Sure.
they'd be working the rest of the roster who have all said like they suffered for this. They had to stay longer. They had to do more. Like you don't work the rest of your team like that. You get that. Like that's how you. I firmly believe, and because of everything coming out, started as a real thing. They've probably settled whatever. Now, of course, you're going to work it to the ground. Same way the Bret Hart Montreal screw job turned into Vince McMahon being the evil boss. Start something real, turn it into something, fake. And that just feels like what's going on here.
I think the flight being purchased before the meet and greet and being found out about sources that were not supposed to share that information is pretty telling.
I hate to let's ruin the flow here because I'm going to go make myself a drink.
Sure.
Hey, where does Buster keep coming from, and where does he keep going to?
It's the weather. He's just like
Yeah, but where does he
Like,
come
like-
from?
my kitchen,
Okay.
and then so my living room is in the back of the house, and then you can get there through my bedroom, and then
Okay.
you can also get there through the hallway. So immediately out is the kitchen, and then he just keeps going in a circle through my bedroom, and then around through the hallway through my bedroom.
Well, all right, good. Just see,
Poor
it's
little
like
buddy.
he just keeps showing up every couple of minutes. So I just curious. Hate to
He's like, "Is my friend
Ellie?
Ellie there?" No. Okay, I'm out.
Don't you dare summon her. I'm gonna make a drink. I'll be right back.
Go make a drink. We're on to the Hardy Boys and the Bucks. The Hardy Boys win by pinfall on Nick Jackson. If anybody wants to stop, just stop me, or else I'm going to keep going through this.
I'll just say that
Mhm.
I thought the match was fun, but this final Hardy Boys run has me nervous for their health. Like, Jeff does not look good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's legitimately hurt. They pulled him off the match, tonight, and that's why we got the match we got tonight. But yeah, I don't know. They just have to stay healthy. But all I know is it continues to be insane, the level of reaction that they get from the crowd. You would think at some point it would die out, but even tonight when they came out, huge pop for the Hardys.
I think some of that is knowing seeing how bad Jeff looks right now. I think that the pop is part being like, yeah, this is it. We're not going to get this much longer because there's just no way. Jeff never changed his style. So how do you keep wrestling this way for? This truly feels like a last run, but I don't know. I was okay with the match. I thought it was fine, but they don't have long, and then which also makes me understand why Jeff left WWE the way he did. He was probably like, I don't have long. You're not using me like properly. Let me have a final run because this is the only thing like they have left. I mean, I think they got a year, if that, and it's a spread out year. Like, they got to take time off because Jeff looks brutal and he just refuses to work a non-aggressive style. So you can't even be like, oh, he'll take it easy this match. No, he's going to fling himself around.
Even was it a Swanton onto Matt Jackson was on the stairs.
Yeah.
And he didn't even move. And I was like, Jeff still somehow got the worst of that. Like, that's not good. There was just no need to take those spots. But I think what you're going to get in this last Hardy Boys run is like one match a month that looks like this, and then they're going to recover the rest of the month. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to be like week after week doing this. But I
think they tried, and that's not working out well.
No, not at all. I'm nervous that they're going to have the titles. That makes me really nervous because I don't want them to.
I'm okay if they have them for a very short period of time. Have them have the moment. They're a legend team, so it doesn't hurt like the standing of the belts. And then you can have whoever you want take them off there for like that big crowning thing.
Yeah, they're going to get these titles at some point when the time is right so that they can just have the titles and be part of the history. And now it's, on their resume.
WWE shit though, because they can't have a run. Like, Jeff looks so bad, and it's the thing we complain about at WWE, or at least I do, and I know Matt does. Like, these moments, like, if they lead to a bad run, I'm not super interested. So, I really hope it's an incredibly short run, and it would have to be extremely soon because, Jeff Hardy just is a carcass of what he used to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're just going to let them take the belts off somebody, right? They'll have to work it into it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I agree. I think if you look at Jeff and Matt, who's got more time left, it's definitely Matt at this point.
It's funny, and I hate to cut you off, Ann. I'm sorry. Because 10 years ago, man, when Matt Hardy got to Ring of Honor, it was completely the other way. He was out of shape. He looked awful. He couldn't really work great.
Yeah, he still kind of walks like he's just like a bar of soap. Like he just walks like a brick. Like his legs don't really move as much. So I don't know. I just hope that they don't, in trying to like make history here, have a really, really bad last run. But I do think it'll be short. Maybe it'll be like one pay-per-view to pay-per-view, and or like a winter is coming or whatever. But I'm like, Jurassic Express retaining, I was like, oh, are they really gonna are they gonna take it off of them? Because I think it's time for Jurassic Express to drop. I was not like in love with that booking.
Well, we'll definitely get there, and we can talk about what happened after this Hardy's match. We got Anna Jay versus Jade Cargill, the for the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill does win by pinfall. The big news in this is Stokely Hathaway shows up, so he is now with All Elite. And post match, Chris Statlander comes in. She's outnumbered, and Athena shows up, and now Athena is All Elite. So she finally shows up. I think we thought this was coming at some point, and now it's here. So a couple things, something that came out of the post match scrum specifically for Stokely Hathaway is TK had said that it just so happened to work out with the timing. I think he said the day before the pay-per-view, Stokely Hathaway's 90 days was up. And I think he said the first time he spoke to him was the day of the pay-per-view. He was just able to get there, and they were able to work something out. And because he owns Ring of Honor, he's able to give him the name. So all is good in the world of Jade and Kate, because this is what Kate wanted. And I think we're all good with it.
Yeah,
it
was a 30-day too from NXT, and I was like, holy shit, those 30 days were up.
Or yeah, 30. Sorry, I said 90. Yep.
But it's like it happened very, very. I was like, holy shit, that went really, really quick, and yeah, it was literally to the day or whatever. But
too bad he can't wrestle for her.
What'd you say?
Too bad he can't wrestle for her.
Why? I mean, he could. He's wrestled before.
Please, she's still fucking garbage. So.
Oh, I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, the match with Anna Jay was not good. Like their first one was Jade's first really good match. This was bad. Anna Jay also didn't look great in this. But what came out of it, I think is good. So I'm excited for that much.
Yeah, and we do see some of the after effects tonight. We'll talk about Dynamite in a bit. We get our Death Triangle match versus the House of Black. The House of Black does win here by pinfall. Black Mass from Malachi Black on Pac. Sorry. But the big news here is that we finally see the turn of Julia Hart as the lights go down. Lights come up. She spits the purple mist, it looked like, in the face of Pac, and that seals the deal for them. The house always wins. And we see Julia Hart finally goes the way she needs to go. I can tell you this: I didn't love the face paint on everybody in the House of Black, but it definitely helped Buddy Murphy look like part of the group. Or Buddy Matthews, sorry. Buddy Matthews.
Let's see the Buddy Matthews needs tattoo sign.
Yes, and it was great. It made me laugh. Because
this match
it's true.
Ruled. I loved this match.
I loved this match, and I loved the finish. The good. Julia Hart thing, you know, it's. I think that's something I really enjoy about AEW is they let these stories play out. There's no rush. Everything down to the smallest detail with the fucking way her face is painted, with the eye, like it was the match was, I mean, as advertised, you knew what you were getting with these six guys. And anytime the lights go down, it's very exciting. When they came back on, Julia Hart was in the ring. I think I popped more than if, like, I don't know, maybe the only other person I would have probably popped huge for was if it was like Bray Wyatt or something, right? For me, because nobody else, the Julia Hart thing just made fucking sense, and it was done so well. I'm a big fan of it, so I was happy to see that.
Yeah, it was a good payoff because it's like we saw it slowly coming, right? Like the eye patch, and you saw the paint peeking out from underneath it, but she never pulled it off. It was just the perfect timing for everything. So yeah, I'm with you there. And this match, just like, man, what else would you expect out of the Death Triangle and the House of Black? What a great match. I don't know
House
if
of
this.
Black is like the perfect mix of styles. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's just such an unbelievably perfect faction. I love it
yeah.
so much.
They're fantastic. And who knows if this is the end of this story, because they didn't run it back immediately. Like tonight, we didn't see anything about it. But if it's not, sign me up for another match with these 6 guys because they can all go, man. Next up we get the
Hey,
Owen
Ryan,
Hart.
how come you don't have anything to say?
I didn't want to disrupt. I mean, we were just going, so I didn't want to like step in.
No, step in.
I
I told
understand.
you I'm just gonna keep going unless people stop me.
Oh, I'm all about that.
Don't stop me now.
It's hard to stop you, but I'll try it.
Having a good time, having a good
I just like that it kind of made sense of when Julia Hart stalled out. What was it, like a month? Not quite a month ago, and everyone hated it. This kind of made sense of it. Of like, oh, they fooled Death Triangle. They made them believe that she was a piece taken off the playing field, and all of a sudden they brought her back. And like, to me, there was logic then applied to it by having. Now I see why they brought them out to save her at the end of that episode, because they truly believe she was a non-issue and she becomes an issue. And it was much needed. And I'm very curious to see what Goth Julia looks like going forward, because I'm Kate.
Does anybody care about the Varsity Blondes outside of Ryan? Because Ryan cares about everyone.
I would like to see more out of Griff Garrison, to be honest with you. Not
Do
so
you,
much.
do you care about Brian? Yeah, I don't.
Oh.
That's where I'm at too. I'm kind of
Take
over
your
Brian
shitty,
coming.
take your shitty mullet and your father's legacy. Kick rocks, brother.
Yeah,
Griff Garrison is the talent in that.
Yeah,
I agree. I think there was a period where I was like, oh, maybe we're gonna see more out of Pillman, and then he just had matches in a row where it just was not good. So yeah, I'm in
MLW.
agreement there.
Stink up to joint there.
Well, okay.
All right, then.
aggressive.
Sassy tonight. Look out.
You are.
They also didn't do favors by the Varsity Blondes by making them faces when they would have done better as like arrogant jock heels. Because like, the pretty cheerleader, the arrogant jocks, like that's a natural heel thing, and they just went, now we'll have you cheer for them.
Well, there's a lot of there's a lot of things that they could do. They could put somebody in Ring of Honor. That's the other thing too. Here is I think it gets lost in the shuffle.
Marcos Munoz said.
Where? Oh, move Pillman Jr. to Ring of Honor and leave Griffin AEW. Yeah, Marco. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. Yeah, I think that's a possibility. I mean, you could even move both of them if you really wanted to keep them as a tag team. But I think Griff can do things, on his own and stand up as a singles competitor. So, anyway, moving on, we get our men's Owen tournament final: Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe. Adam Cole wins by pinfall with the boom to win the tournament. I think we all thought this was his to win, and I was at the very least very glad that we did not see any interference from Jay Lethal or Satnam Singh during the match. Like, I'm just glad that they let this sort of play out the way it did. And it was Cole's tournament to win. So this match was awesome, though. What a hard-hitting, violent-looking match. Joe can still go. So I like this a lot. I don't know what you guys thought.
I'll just say that I loved this match, and I thought that the gear was a tell, which made me very upset in the next match. But it's funny that these two had never faced each other before, because they had been on such overlapping paths, and I just really loved this match. Like we talk about it all the time, the collision in styles, and just it makes for such interesting pacing when you have someone like Adam Cole and Samoa Joe in the ring together. Like, Joe slows everything down, and Adam Cole has a great energy, but is cerebral. Like this was a ton of fun, and I think Adam Cole going over was the right call.
I agree. I mean, there's really nothing more to say. And you're right, the gear maybe was a little bit of a tell, but I said, hey, Joe can come out in pink and black. He's a two-tone
Yeah.
guy.
Did you think it was weird that Joe's banner was like the Texas flag?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I did, because I think that might be. It was like red and blue, and it had the stars on it because he's the Ring of Honor TV champion.
Right.
And I thought that was weird because he's the only guy that got the banner like that. So is he like officially a Ring of Honor guy?
Well, he's the champ.
He's a TV champ.
You know, they do special nameplates, you know, for anybody, I think, who's the champ. Like, and I can't even remember because they had it one tonight for you know who. We'll talk about it later. But I don't remember if it was a special plate, but they've definitely done that before for other people, or even like the Dark Order. When the Dark Order would come out, theirs would be like purple and black. You know, so they do it for different people. I could only imagine, Matt, that it's because he's the Ring of Honor TV champ. That's the only reason they would have done it.
I knew he was losing the second he walked out without the TV title.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
You're not going to send him out there with the championship to lose in a non-title match.
Sure.
You're not WWE.
No. But I also didn't think that this was his tournament to win. He didn't need it. He already had a belt. He didn't need to win the tournament.
And a story. Like there's another story for him already. Yeah.
Right.
The next match really, really just set the whole night back for me.
Well, we get Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho in the Owen Hart tournament final. Rich Ward from Stuck Mojo and Fozzy played out Britt. And then Ruby Soho has Rancid play her out. And she loses. Britt Baker does win by pinfall victory. The roll-up, the victory roll-up to win the Owen Hart tournament. And I don't know about you guys. I saw it immediately. I was like, oh, this is Brett and Owen WrestleMania 10, right?
Yes.
It was a play on it.
It's that. Yeah, he could have been. Yeah.
It was definitely the intention.
There was a lot of homages to Bret Hart on Sunday night, and they were all fucking garbage.
Well,
yeah, including in the main event. There was.
I have two questions here.
Don't worry, one of these wizards did it in this match too. What's the point of trying to put a sharpshooter on if she's gonna fucking lay on top of her?
Well, you took my first question. Is the sharpshooter that hard to put? I remember putting it on as a kid, and it looked better.
Here's what fucking drives me crazy about it.
Tell us.
Sting works in your company. The Scorpion Deathlock is essentially the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you even saw it, and I don't want to jump ahead, but we saw it in the women's match too. When Serena Deeb put the fucking Texas Cloverleaf on fucking Thunder Rosa, she fucking just flipped over and was like laying on top of her. Fucking slow down. It looks like shit. You're essentially just in a leg lock. Like it's like the thing you did when you were kids where you lay on the ground and you just leg lock each other and you fucking wrestle. You look like idiots. And these fucking poor goddamn fucking commentators got to try and sell it like it fucking, that's a sharpshooter. Excalibur, it's a sharpshooter. It's not. She's fucking just sitting on her ass. She's sitting on her ass. She's holding her legs and she's sitting on her ass. They're both laying on the fucking ground.
What bothered me there is I'm pretty sure the announcers knew that wasn't going to be the finish. So why didn't one of them just go, she clearly couldn't get her leg out under, so she doesn't have it in right, and like let that be why it wasn't winning. You could have explained it, made logic of it, kind of covered up her botch a little bit. You had the whole thing there, and you didn't do it.
I'll say overall,
so fucking JR doesn't give a shit.
I was gonna say like JR. He can't do a 6-hour pay-per-view. I'm sorry. I know he's a legend. He's got to become a special attraction announcer for these things. He was awful during this pay-per-view. Even when Big Stoke comes down and Tony Schiavone goes, we haven't seen Stokely Hathaway since 2017. And he goes, I don't know who he is or something like that.
Actually, that made me laugh really hard.
Oh my God. He was a mess.
So my second question, I have a second question before Kate gets into serious question. You had both of the losers wear black and green. Is the black and green a high impact nod? They were Owen's colors in High Impact.
High Energy was the name of it.
High Energy, sorry.
I don't know.
Greatest tag team of all time. If you,
I didn't think but to have both opponents wear the same color. Maybe
maybe that could have been intentional.
It's hard to take somebody's head off and have them have a wrestling match, so They had to do the next best thing.
Oh man. Yeah.
I had put up a picture of Brett putting somebody in the sharpshooter, and I was like, is it seriously that hard? And
Punks didn't
Santana,
look good either.
no, it didn't. And Santana replied with just a laughy emoji. So it's not that it's not. I'll fucking put next time I see one of you, I'll put you in the fucking sharpshooter.
I did it as a kid all the time. I can't remember, like, and you're right, you have Sting, and he always did a fine Scorpion Deathlock, so it wasn't
Yes.
like he had an ugly one. How hard can it be? Just take the second.
So annoyed. So annoyed.
If you screw up on the first attempt, go act like you kick her in the head to keep her down, and you restart.
I mean, you've also got the man of 1,004 holds, Jericho backstage.
Jericho,
You also
have
have-
Dean Malenko.
Well,
Yep.
you have Brian Danielson. You have anybody who knows how to put on a fucking sharpshooter. I don't know. Maybe Ruby Soho stopped caring because why the fuck would she care? Because the booking in this was fucking stupid. We saw it coming a little bit. I was stupidly hopeful that she was going to go over, but no. She comes down wearing an Owen Hart jacket to Rancid playing, giving great promos Friday and here. Why have her even the score with Britt? Why have her get a big win? There's Charlotte fucking flaring Britt Baker, and it's ridiculous. Like, this was the dumbest possible booking. Like, I don't have any interest in a golden couple thing. If anybody can sell it on me, it's probably them. I don't think it's working great with Sammy and Tay. I think that's fucking stupid. But unless they bring in Gargano and Candice, I guess. But like, I just don't understand how the fuck I'm supposed to take Ruby Soho or anybody else in the division seriously if you keep fucking cutting their legs out from under them.
Well,
like,
destination's unknown.
No, it's pretty known. It's fucking at the bottom or the middle of the card and on YouTube shows. I mean, we saw her tonight, but like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, how many times are we going to do this? How many times do I have to go on a rant about the women's division? Like, you had a good story. Chris was coming alive. Like, all of this stuff. You give these great promos about how she's going to be different than she was when she first walked in here. You had a chance to have her even the score with Britt. You had a chance to make one of your Owen winners a face and not like somebody who in kayfabe is a despicable human being. You have her come down to Rancid. She's wearing an Owen jacket. You finally have a semblance to make her feel important and feel like somebody else in this fucking division is important. And they bury it straight away. This is the same shit I complain about in WWE with Charlotte Flair. Like, Britt is already a star. You don't have to further make her. You hurt Ruby by doing this. It makes no sense. The booking here was such bullshit. And there were a couple of weird booking things on this pay-per-view. Nothing that felt detrimental, like just felt weird to me. Like the Hardys going over felt weird to me a little bit. I felt like Punk should have turned heel in that main the way they finished it. But like, this is actually damaging to your division and they just can't seem to fucking get it right. So there you go. How weird. Another Kate rant about the fucking AEW women's division. I was so excited to see Stokely and Athena. Like, I had this upswing that I was like, even though that match sucks, like they're putting money and time into the division. And I know Stokely will do great stuff, but like, then we get to this shit and I'm like, over and over and fucking over again. Like, it really, really knocked the wind out of my sails. I thought most of this was great until the sharpshooter and the finish I did not like, as well as the booking. But I thought the first 75% of the match or whatever was pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's in agreement with Kate. I don't want to speak for Ryan and Anthony, but the booking makes zero sense. The way they, the extra bells and whistles too with Rancid there, like, Kate's right. Britt's a star. Like, you're in, and look, you can bring in Tony Storm and you can bring in Athena, but you're putting a fucking Band-Aid over a fucking shotgun wound. Like, you're bringing in all these women isn't gonna, if you're gonna book them all like this, like Ruby Soho was a huge fucking get for them. Huge. At the time when they bring her in, there's Thunder Rosa, Serena was hurt, I think. We had like Sheeta was running around with Nyla Rose. Like, there wasn't anyone good. And you thought like, oh, Britt and Ruby is going to carry this division until we can get the belt on Thunder Rosa and Serena can get healthy and we can move along some of this other talent. And it didn't happen. And now we were like, man, like the shit Friday night with Statlander, like this had Ruby written all over it. It's fucking crazy that they didn't pull the trigger on this. And for what? I don't.
Ruby-
And look, I don't want to upset a lot of people. I don't give a shit about Tay and Sammy. I definitely don't want fucking Adam Cole and Britt Baker running roughshod through fucking AEW. And I don't want Johnny Gargano and Kansas LeRae to be on the other side of that. I just don't give a shit about mixed tag
Couples.
team wrestling. Like,
Mhm.
I thought it's adorable. They won. Martha Hart has this dumb fucking hat on. They're fucking kissing in front of her. Congratulations. You kiss like normal people, not like those fucking degenerates. Sammy Guevara, fucking take content. It's like fucking porn. My goddamn TV. Like, I need to be watching the Disney porn. They're fucking horns. She probably jams them with Sammy's ass at the end of the night.
Okay. He's not Ricochet, but maybe.
Pew pew.
Dude, the minute I'll tell you guys this, the minute I saw Rancid was playing her out, I said, no shot she's winning this. Nope, not in a million years. I said, not with the band playing her out. It's over.
They played the
That's
whole
her big
fucking
moment.
song.
I
Yeah,
have to
that was
put
her
a-
moment.
I have to put a camera like right in the doorway here. It's just to catch Rhiannon's reactions when she walks upstairs. You definitely heard that last end of
Pew
the
pew in his ass.
few
Pew,
horns in
pew.
the ass thing and the look she just gave me.
Ah,
Oh.
shit.
The
Well-
sad part is Ruby's story could have been exactly the same as Adam Cole. They came in the same pay-per-view. They had the same thing. They both challenged for the title, both couldn't win it. The difference being, of course, that Ruby was taken off TV because they won't put that many women on TV. But neither one of them, same thing, came the same pay-per-view, lost for the title, had to beat other people just to build up their record. And this could have been the thing both of them had. It was like, this was our crowning achievement. And you pulled the trigger with Adam Cole and you refused to with Ruby because you just had to give it to Britt for whatever fucking reason.
I don't know, but Dr. Martha Hart does come out and give them both the ceremonial belts that they won and the cup and gives a little speech about Owen.
Don't quit your day job, Doc.
Well, either way, TK did say that he gave her all the time she would have wanted, so
Oh,
she
no,
could have spoke for a half hour if she wanted
I
to.
watched it. And then she said, Oj is up there. I said, you put this poor kid in the fucking nosebleeds?
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
they really? That's,
I don't know. She's
I
like, no, Oj is all the way up there.
maybe in the box.
also confused as hell because Athena, I guess, is someone
His
in that.
His
daughter's
daughter.
His daughter. Okay, that was very confusing to me when Athena debuted like 2 matches earlier or whatever.
So we've mentioned it, but we haven't talked about it. Frankie Kazarian, Sammy Guevara, and Tay Conti versus Men of the Year and Paige Vanzant. The stipulation here was that if Frankie, Sammy, and Tay lost, Frankie and Sammy could not challenge Scorpio Sky for the title again while he holds it. So thank fucking God the Men of the Year won. So we can move on from whatever this was for the TNT title with Sammy, and now we're on to other stuff. But I fucking hated it. We were texting each other, and I said, I just want this to die. Fucking awful. I hated it. This was, I don't know what purpose this served. I just fucking hated it. I don't know.
Again, I
It
don't
was
want to
awful.
speak for
The
Ryan and Kate, but I think we all agree it was fucking garbage.
I'll say I think the purpose it served was supposed to give Paige Vanzant her big debut, and she looked fucking bad. She did not look good in this at all.
Yeah. I mean,
Like this was supposed to be the big in-ring debut for like a pretty notable UFC star from my understanding, and she did not look good at all.
I think people need to realize you can't take a real fighter and make her a professional wrestler, him or her. It doesn't. People forget Ken Shamrock was a pro wrestler before he was a UFC fighter.
Brock
I'm sorry.
and Brock.
Brock was also a pro wrestler. Like taking these, like if you've ever watched like a New Japan, like Sakuraba, like they do like a worked shoot fight. It's awful. You're asking this girl to come in and not throw real punches. Like, yeah, she knows her hands are lethal weapons, so she's not going to punch the
Lock
shit
them
out of
in,
Steve
yeah.
Conte. She has to hold back, and it affects what she's doing. It was bad. I'm glad it's over.
Let's move on.
I hope I never see Tay Conte and Sammy Guevara again. I hope they end up in the fucking Bermuda Triangle. We're good. The shit with the fucking everyone's got a belt. You got to watch the fucking vlog to understand. Fuck off.
Well, they did it on TV the week before. They did it. They stole the belts from American
Thieves.
Top Team.
They're fucking thieves. I hate it. I hate everything about this. I'm glad it's over. Scorpio Sky is a national treasure, and Ethan Page deserves.
It's great.
I think Ethan Page needs to turn and challenge Scorpio Sky.
That's it.
It looked like that's where we were headed 2 weeks ago on Friday night, but then they went the other way. So who the fuck knows?
Asian Joe saying Paige Vanzant throwing punches like Shane O'Mac.
Yeah,
They looked like some Shane O'Mac punches. I'll give Ronda Rousey credit. She understood that part of the game very well and selling. Like she actually did pretty good with that. But this all of this.
They also put
get it the fuck off my screen. All of it.
They also
I hate
put
all
Ronda
of it.
Rousey in the ring with the best women you can in Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, people who could really wrestle. I'm not saying Tay's bad, but in this company, if I'm giving Paige Vanzant her first match, it's against someone like Sheeta or Serena Deeb or one of those two, and maybe even Thunder Rosa, because Thunder Rosa at least understands the MMA style of it. But you got to give her someone who can walk her through the match. Tay's not the one yet to walk her through a match, so it looked worse because of that.
So bad.
I'm surprised Tay can actually walk.
oh,
All right, Dan Lambert, calm down.
What? Seems like all
I-
she cares about is making out with her fucking dumb boyfriend and his dumb hair because he's crazy.
he
Well,
is
you can
crazy.
usually walk when you make out with someone. I don't know what you're doing.
Trust me, Kate. You know what the next step is.
I do know. Under the clothes stuff.
Oh, not over the pants. You go straight from making out to under.
Again, you don't know
Under
where these kids are these
the
days.
clothes
God damn.
stuff.
These kids move fast.
Thanks
You
for
got-
calling me.
I
a
thought
kid,
it was
by the way.
normally in OTPHJ, but I guess we're just going straight
OTPHJ.
over the pants hand
Over the
job.
pants hand job.
Come
Oh,
on,
I
Matt.
sound like a fucking sandwich. I don't know.
Um,
Down to the Melbourne Deli, get the OTPHO way. What?
Don't go.
HJ.
Don't order one of
I
those.
didn't realize that
pal.
was the next step. That's
No, definitely
That's
order
what
one of those.
By the way, I just yes, Paige Vanzant did not look good, and my least favorite part of Paige Vanzant is how she overacted every single goddamn thing, even the non-wrestling stuff. Jesus Christ, turn it down. My God. Moving on, Darby versus Kyle O'Reilly, and if you ask, in my opinion, this is maybe a candidate for match of the night. Jesus Christ. I love this. Kyle O'Reilly wins by pinfall with the diving knee. I just think these guys are both fucking maniacs. I thought they might have each died about twice during this match. I loved it. I mean, anybody can add what they want here, but that was a great goddamn match.
Big fan of the flying knee.
Yeah, the
Yes.
flying knee was
Do you
great.
want me to give her the headphones?
If you want.
She's saying
he said
She
no.
I'll just say that the past 3 matches for Kyle O'Reilly, especially considering one of them was a loss, have been so good. And facing Phoenix, Samoa Joe, and now Darby Allin, like such different ring styles. This has been like such a fun coming out party for Kyle O'Reilly. Like people are starting to really learn how valuable he is in the ring. And I love the way he works. And I love his selling. The delayed sell is like very fun and different to me. But this match was great. I wish it was a main event of Rampage.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I'm shocked he won, to be quite honest. I really
Me
thought
too.
like Darby needed a win. Kyle O'Reilly's a tag team specialist right now. No reason to give him the win. I mean, I don't really care. I think Darby can be rebuilt easily, but just seems shocking. What the hell happened with Darby in the bottom rope? What was he trying to do?
he's trying to do his dive and his feet got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his
So he
feet
went-
clipped the bottom ring or the bottom rope.
But he went through the bottom rope. Like he didn't even get through the middle.
Right.
He was trying to
He
dive
tripped
through
before
the
he
rope.
ever got to the ropes. I mean.
No, I think he made it through the ropes, but then as his feet
His
were
feet
coming
caught the
through,
ropes.
yeah, his feet got.
No,
the
I'm saying
rib.
like he went, instead of going between the top and the middle like he normally does, he went through the middle and the bottom.
Right, and I think that's where his feet got caught, and that's what he.
Yeah, why did he go low? I'm guessing because doesn't he usually go in a little higher?
I don't know. Why does he make doo-doo art? Don't ask a
Oh,
crazy
okay.
person these
He
questions.
likes the way it tastes.
How,
I think he
how does
normally
that turn into eating it, making art?
don't you? It was a dodgeball. And he's like, "Why do I drink my own pee? Because I like the way it tastes."
It's good for you. It's full of vitamins.
It's not, but
Sarah, one, I like the way it tastes.
that's right. Yeah, no, Ryan, I think he always goes low on the ropes. I don't think he always, or maybe he goes through the top and the middle and then he goes to the bottom if he does it again. I don't know, but he normally does go low on the ropes, and this time his feet just clipped it.
He looked like he almost broke his neck.
Yeah, well, it's not the first fucking time. So the man's crazy.
I was happy we got a nice normal fucking entrance. There was no fucking dumb fucking video of him jumping out of a fucking helicopter, driving a fucking Dukes of Hazzard's car over the Grand Canyon, some other artsy fartsy bullshit. He didn't even have his fucking skateboard.
He was not.
He was
Darby
there to do the
Avant-Garde.
job. He didn't have any of his gimmicks with him. He didn't have fucking crusty old
He and
Sting.
MJF just showing up and doing their job and getting the fuck out of
That's
there. The pillars were like bare minimum this time.
Checking off that fucking bump card, buddy. You'll be hanging out with fucking Fat Bam Margera in a couple of years. Enjoy.
Fat Bam Margera.
I love the top rope knee drop. I think that's a fantastic finishing move.
Yeah, it looks looks super painful.
Brutal.
I also like how he used the chain to choke to pick him up. and
That
choke.
was
That was fucking
awesome.
cool.
Love
That was
spot.
cool. My favorite part of that is how they on commentary said he's choking him by that unbreakable chain, and literally it breaks that moment. They say unbreakable chain.
Why would they say unbreakable? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
tempting fate at that point.
Yeah, but it was a fantastic match. So if you are for some reason didn't watch this pay-per-view, that's fine, but you should certainly seek that match out. We get our women's championship, Serena Deeb versus Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa retains. I'll be honest with you guys. I think I nodded off for a portion of this match because I missed the whole fucking finish. So I can't really comment on this. This one kind of bored me at the start.
Really?
I don't know
really
why.
like this match.
I don't know. I just got tired and I kind of lost my interest early on and I kind of just dozed off. But
Outside the Cloverleaf failure, I enjoyed this match very much.
This match was great. Yeah. It's what we knew. It was like the build to it was bad, but the actual match was great. I think it's worth running back with a better build. But yeah, this was up there with the top matches of the night for me. This was the only good women's match, so that was that was good. And Thunder Rosa winning is what you would hope and want here. But I thought this was fantastic. I thought this was really good.
I do plan to go back and watch it. I haven't tried to yet. But,
it was pretty like technical, and yeah, I could understand in a 6-hour pay-per-view where you.
That was the only point. I don't know why. It just, I think they were sizing each other up at the beginning of the match, and it just lost me for a second. I dozed off, but
makes sense.
We get the Anarchy in the Arena match, the Blackpool Combat Club, and Eddie Kingston, Ortiz, and Santana versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. Them playing the music over and over again at the start of that match was, I thought, fantastic. Action everywhere. They actually did a pretty good job with the production of taking you everywhere because there was just action at all different points of the arena. A lot of blood. We get to the end. They take the top rope off, the turnbuckles. They're using that as a weapon. It was pretty fucking wild. The Jericho Appreciation Society wins by referee stoppage as they're choking Danielson with the top rope. So pretty strong look, making your top submission specialist get choked out, although it was with a rope.
He also didn't submit. The referee stopped it.
Yes, I agree. But still, he passed out. They did use a rope. So Eddie Kingston also coming down to the ring at one
Criminal.
point.
He's a fucking criminal.
Okay, well,
He tried to light a man on fire.
that's attempted,
Chris
brother.
Jericho
It's not a.
Did light a man
hasn't?
on fire?
Chris Jericho threw fire at him. There's a difference.
A
Danny
fireball.
Magic
Fireball.
throws fire.
He's a wizard.
I
Danny
just-
Magic. Fucking asshole.
What?
does
You've
not.
never seen Danny Magic throw fire?
No.
My
Jericho's
God.
not the first wrestler to throw fire.
So why
Eddie
can't
Kingston's
everybody
the
but Eddie
first person to
Kingston?
put gasoline on somebody.
No,
It's
he's
fucking
not.
Awesome.
That's
Zombie.
definitely happened in wrestling before.
Gasoline?
Yeah, didn't that happen in like one of Kane's feuds?
Not when it was fucking
Not on
$4.50
a
a gallon.
person. Maybe like the casket with the Undertaker in it.
Yeah, but I mean,
You know what? Kate brings up a good point. That's appalling. What a waste of gasoline. It's
Yeah,
so
it's like
expensive.
$4.50 a gallon right now, man.
And that's
He's
they're
got
definitely
that
out on
fucking
the
Tony
West
Khan
Coast. It's
money.
higher.
we know they lit the Fiend on fire.
They did light the Fiend on
Allegedly.
fire.
But I'm just saying, they didn't even light anyone on fire, so you can't be that mad. I mean, WWE lit the Fiend on fire.
I'm not
Guys-
mad. I'm just saying, let's not make this guy out to be a fucking hero.
He is a
He's
hero.
trying to light people on fire.
It's already got me in trouble. But I'm just going to reiterate that
Who got you? What do you mean? What got you in trouble?
I said that zombie gasoline wielding Eddie Kingston did something to me. Okay. And
What are you, fucking Tina
I
from
loved
Bob's
it.
Burgers?
I loved that he drowned Chris Jericho in gasoline and also Bryan Danielson. He was like, I fucking hate that guy too. I'm gonna light that guy on fire as well. Holy shit, this match was fun. Jericho just always cutting off music now is so much fun. I loved the turnbuckles just being completely lifted off. I thought that was super fun. I loved the spot with Jericho came at Danielson with a chair and he just kneed it back in his face. I love moves like that. But yeah, I thought this was such a blast, and I was like, all right, the heels won. We're gonna get a blood and guts blow off, and we'll talk about that later. But this was such a blast. I did not know what to expect, and whatever I didn't expect, it surpassed my expectations. Like, this was so much fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this was a lot of fun. My only problem, stop coming out to Judas.
But he's doing what we called for on this show. They're stopping it prematurely.
Yeah,
and
but the
fans
fans
are
are
getting upset.
The fans are singing to begin with. So even if you stop it, they're going to keep singing. Stop coming out to fucking Judas.
Well, that's
Yeah,
on the fans. They should stop singing along.
He should stop coming out to it.
No, you need to watch the show tonight then. You'll see.
Why does he come out to like shout at the devil or something cool?
No. He
Like,
comes
I
out
want it that
Oh.
way by the Backstreet Boys.
He comes out to Fozzy, but he cuts it off and the crowd doesn't continue. They just boo him. It's working.
Finally, stop coming out to Judas, dickhead. Your new album's out. Promote a new fucking song.
It's not out yet, is it?
I don't fucking know.
No,
Let me
it's
look
not.
on Spotify.
So let's move on from this so we can get to other stuff. Big news of the night too. Andrade El Idolo and Jose are talking about bringing in a top wrestler in the world. Knock at the door. Hello, it's Roosh.
Or as I call him, Rush.
Yeah.
Boombox is out.
Oh, all right. Well, look at that.
Sorry.
So we get Roosh is now apparently here with Andrade El Idolo. We find out that Dante Martin's going to challenge for the TNT title. And now we're on to our tag team triple threat match. Jurassic Express versus Swerve in His Glory versus Team Taz with two Z's.
Can I cut you off?
Go ahead.
It's so fucking awesome that Roosh is there.
It is.
It is, yeah. We shouldn't skip by that. That's
Los Ingranobles are gonna run wild on fucking Ring of Honor and AEW.
and kudos to Andrade for being like, turns out all these guys are fucking losers. I loved that promo. He was like,
That was good.
all these guys do is lose. I want a guy that wins. That feels very reasonable to me. Good call, Andrade.
I think if they are gonna push these two, I think it'll be great for everybody. Because Roosh is real fucking good. And I don't think we've gotten to see I think the Andrade that we saw against Johnny Gargano in that NXT Championship match in Philadelphia, I don't think we've gotten to see that guy yet. But now
No,
that
there's
he's
been
got
some
Roosh,
good
and I'm
stuff.
pretty sure Roosh is his brother.
I don't know.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Oh, I didn't know. I sincerely didn't know that.
Let me look this up.
Kyle K. Sparks might know because he's also saying former 2-time Ring of Honor champion Roosh. Yeah, no, that was a nice surprise. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to get through this.
No.
So we get to the triple threat tag team match, and again, point of discussion: Jurassic Express retains pinfall on Shane Swerve Strickland to retain the championship. So I think a lot of people thought this was the end of the championship reign for Jurassic Express. They keep it on them, and who knows where we're going with this now. We get a little bit maybe of a look tonight of what could be happening. But listen, I didn't necessarily have a problem with this match. This match was a lot of fun. We got, times where, yes, Matthew?
I just want to make a correction. He is not his brother, but they did. Andrade and Roosh, along with La Mascara, created the group Los Ingranobles in 2009.
What's La Mascarada up to now?
That would be nothing.
I wonder if it'll be a trio.
Now he's I don't know. Good question.
CMLL or something.
What's he doing now? Sorry. Way to slow the show down, Matt. He's an independent wrestler. He left AAA at the end of 2019.
All right.
Sorry, Ant. Back to the triple tag team match.
Yeah, all I was saying was I didn't necessarily have a problem with this match because, it was a lot of fun. I think we got exactly what we thought we were going to get. A lot of times where the three small guys were in the ring, a lot of times where the three big guys were in the ring, a lot of tandem, triple action. So I think that this was it was a lot of fun, a really good match. And I didn't necessarily have a problem with the booking just because these teams are somewhat newly, well, let me rephrase this. Swerve and Keith Lee are kind of newly established. I didn't think this was their time. Could you give it to Ricky and Powerhouse Hobbs? Yeah, but are they really an established tag team? Like, they tag because they're part of Team Taz, but I just didn't think this was the way to kind of get the belts off them. So who knows where they're going to go next. But I didn't have a problem. I thought this match was a lot of fun. And I was actually nervous because I didn't know how late this show was going to go. I'm like, are they only going to get like 6 minutes for this match? But they did not. This was a fun match.
A lot of fun. That Ricky Starks bump was scary.
Yep.
But then I posed the question Monday night. Scary bump, yes, but is he so good at selling? Like,
he is very good at selling.
Because he's taken a couple where you're like, oh, that's a really serious bump, and then he's fine the next day.
But one of them was a very serious bump. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing that's scary, is that one of them was. His nut shot on the ropes also cracked me up. That was fantastic. But yeah, I mean, there's been a couple scary spots with him. This one I think was a sell because we didn't hear anything about it. So it was either a sell or a stroke of good luck because it seems like he's okay from everything we know. But there were a couple scary bumps on this pay-per-view for sure. But I loved this match. The spot where Swerve launched off Keith Lee's chest to do whatever the fuck he did, I can't remember anymore, but my God, the Keith Lee somersaults into a pile of guys was really fun. I'm kind of over Jurassic Express. I'm not a big Luchasaurus gal anymore. I just feel like it's kind of worn off. And I think Jungle Boy's a solo star. But I don't think
Jungle Man.
But I don't think having the champions retain here is a bad call. I just feel like Swerve is definitely a star. Keith Lee is definitely a star. You should have put tag gold on them, because they're not going to be anywhere near these other title pictures for a while, probably.
I didn't, like I said, I just thought that it was too new for Swerve and Keith Lee. I think in time, sure, they can put a tag team, run together. I just think they're too newly established. And I didn't even pick it up. And TK said in the media scrum afterwards, somebody brought it to his attention, or he saw it on Twitter and he never even realized it. It was kind of 3 tag teams from the different eras of AEW so far. So it was the originals and Jurassic Express. It was a team kind of thrown together in the pandemic era with Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks from Team Taz. And then, post-pandemic sort of team, they've just put together newer talent with Keith Lee and Swerve. So kind of cool that it spanned all sorts of eras of AEW. All right, guys, we're at the main event. And it is time for the main event. Hangman Adam Page versus CM Punk for the World Championship. Let's cut to the end here. CM Punk winds up winning by pinfall with the go to sleep to become your new AEW World Champion. I guess thus we enter the third summer of Punk. Couple things here.
I don't know. Don't christen it that yet until it's over.
Listen, I'm just telling you what all the chatters saying.
See what happens.
I haven't dubbed anything yet, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But we did get Punk twice fuck up the buckshots. And he talked about in the media, the post scrum. He said, I've pulled it off once on TV and a bunch of times practicing it, and I just couldn't pull it off tonight. But I'll say this, guys, I didn't like the result. I actually hated this result. And this isn't just to rile anybody up, Kate. This is totally honest. I hate this move. I do not like it. They've talked so many times about young talent and homegrown talent and stuff like that. And now you put the belt on Punk, who doesn't really need it. And now I get it. We're going to Chicago for the Forbidden Door, and we'll talk about that, once we get to Dynamite. But I just feel like this sort of puts a stamp on Hangman was a failed run, and the belt's on Punk for whatever reason. I just still can't figure it out. I did not like this. I really didn't.
I don't think failed run is the way to describe the Adam Page championship run. I think the problem with Adam Page is that the whole story was it was his chase, and once he beat Kenny Omega, they set him up nicely. The 1 hour with Brian Danielson, the rematch, beating Lance Archer. They did
Adam Cole twice. Yeah,
it wasn't like they gave him shit, but I just think
it's the shortest title run they've had yet.
No, Jericho's was shorter.
Yeah, they said he passed Jericho.
By how long? What?
I mean, maybe like a week or two, but still past them. I mean,
there's only been 4 champions, right?
Yeah, it's not like they're doing like 60-day title runs. Like these guys are holding titles for a while. I think the money was in the chase for Adam Page, and once he became the champion, and there was no more Dark Order, and he wasn't the dysfunctional, antisocial, questioning himself cowboy until the last 15 minutes of the match Sunday night, nobody really gave a shit.
I don't know. It just feels to me like to me, I don't like this move. It feels wrong to take it off somebody and give it to a guy who you just brought in. And I get it. He's a draw. I get it.
He's not just a guy you just brought in, though, man.
I understand.
I
understand. Hold on. Let me. I get it. He's not just a guy. I get it. He's a big draw, but he doesn't need a belt to draw. He doesn't. I don't know why you have to put it on him here. I really don't. I don't know. I just don't like it.
You're going to set somebody else up to take it off of him, and you're going to make a new star out of that person.
I don't know. I don't.
And you're going to bring back Kenny. At some point, Kenny Omega is going to get healthy, and that's going to be a huge draw. So at some point, Miro's coming back, and people are going to be into that.
At some point, Miro will be back.
Here's why Ant's wrong. No, I'll just say that I think I actually, as much as I loved this match, I loved the first 2/3 of this match, and then the home stretch with the 2 failed buckshot lariats was kind of a bummer. I thought one of them was intentional because Adam Page had a failed GTS, and I thought that was intentional storytelling. of like, we can't be in each other's worlds a little bit. And I get that we have events coming up in Chicago, but like Adam Page made the deliberate choice not to use the title to retain his title. It was right there. Like the softball of a heel turn was right there. I don't understand why you don't have heel Punk do this and just ruin everything in the most delicious way. And I don't understand, if you're not going to turn him heel, why you don't set that up, or why you set that spot up. Because it felt like they set it up to pussy out on it, and that kind of bums me out. The reason you have CM Punk go over here is I don't know what else Adam Page has to do right now, especially with the Dark Order doing what it's doing. And I just think you have to be realistic about Punk's age, and there's different types of title runs, right? And I think in AEW world, it's still a pretty big deal if you face CM Punk. And I think there's a lot of young talent that can get made in losses to him, the way that he tells stories. I sincerely think that. And it's also not like they hotshotted him. He came back last August. Like, we're in June now. That was a good, 8-9 months ago? So he's come in. He's won a bunch. It's not like this was... some people were reacting like this was hotshotted. And I'm like, no, he's been winning and he's had feuds. And other than MJF, he's pretty much had a spotless record. So I think you have to be realistic about cashing in on his value at the age that he's at. And I just think there's a lot. I think he's going to turn heel. I think they want him to be a face for Chicago. That's what I didn't like about it. I felt like they were letting like geographic locations of upcoming stuff keep him from turning heel in this match. And that's stupid. Like, I don't like that idea at all. But I think a Punk title run right now is pretty prime, because I think you're going to see him do a lot that helps young talent come along in the process. Like, I think it's going to be good, and I think he is going to turn heel out of it. So you're going to see a lot of talent get made by a heel Punk in a couple of months.
And I also think the Page hesitating is him questioning himself, and that's how we got the chase, right? He's in his head again now. Like, that's when people were fucking invested in him. If he had just picked up that title and clocked Punk, he'd still be the champion, but he didn't. He got in his own head, and I think that's what he's gonna go back to being the millennial cowboy. There's that's the Adam Page people gave a shit about. Like, they didn't do him any favors. They didn't give him great stories when he was the champion. You also have to realize, like, it's the summer. Punk is, if anyone's going to get people to watch Dynamite on a Wednesday night in the summer, it's going to be CM Punk as your world champion.
And in general, I think we're going to get shorter title reigns. Like, I don't think we're going to get 6-week title reigns, but I think that was October to essentially June. That's not like a short title reign. It's just not like a year plus or whatever. I think you're probably going to get the fantasy booking that I'm favorited to is you have Punk drop to Eddie Kingston at Grand Slam, who has it for like 6 weeks, who drops it to MJF, and then MJF has a really long run. I don't know what the fuck to expect right now with MJF, but like, that seems like a good trajectory of Eddie gets to come back. He gets to say, I fucking told you who this guy was, while Punk is a heel. You get because people love him. It's not just me thirsting over Eddie. And he doesn't need a long title run. He could be super transitional. And then you have MJF have your next, like, probably year-ish long title run. But I think you're going to have a couple of shorter ones in there. And I think that's okay. I just don't like swapping hand stuff super fast. But, like, it's just weird to me that, not you, Amp, but, like, I saw a lot of feedback online about, like, how short this was. And I was like, well, October to now was still a healthy run, and how Punk was hotshotted. And I was like, he came back in August of last year. Like, he's been there a while now. So, but I do think in general, you're going to start to see some shorter title runs, but I don't think they're going to be short title runs. They're just going to be shorter than someone trying to get us through a pandemic. Right. And Kenny was long in time, but not in defenses because he was so beat up. He still only wrestled like 12 times or whatever in that time. So, anyway, that's my thoughts. I'm bummed he didn't turn heel. I loved the first 2/3 of the match. I loved the storytelling in it and going into it, but that last third, I was just like, between the botched buckshots and him not turning heel, I was kind of like, that's like, it's good, not great, in my opinion.
And listen, I'm not of the camp like Punk is hotshot, right? Because
I get that. I'm just saying from like the chatters, as you said.
No, I'm with you. But I just, I don't know. I just didn't think it was a time. I mean, I'm looking for it back. Asian Joe asked, what would we have done with Hangman moving forward? Run it back, enter a new program with somebody. I mean, they certainly could have run it back and had the same sort of attention on it. But I think it would have. I'm with Kate. It should have gone differently as far as, the heel turn should have come. And I think that's sort of what we avoided, right, with Hangman, right? It looked like he could have sort of done the heel thing. He didn't do it. And then maybe that's when you get the turn out of Punk. Punk uses the belt, Punk low blows, whatever. It's there. It's perfect. And the heel champion is money, right? I mean, especially a heel Punk champion at that point, and Hangman's maybe chasing to get it back or somebody else's. But I didn't love it. I just didn't like the decision. I just don't know. We'll see. Maybe maybe this will all play out and it'll be worth it. It won't just have been for a Chicago dream match, but it is what it is. We'll see where they go with this. And Kate has a little bit of defending to do when we talk about Dynamite on her boy with what we saw out of him tonight. So I don't know. I just I thought the match was good. We saw a good match, but I just didn't love the outcome.
That's fair.
I don't know if anybody else wants to tag it with something, but if not, we're gonna, I think, take a little break. Say goodbye to Matt.
Bye, everybody. I didn't see Dynamite, so I feel like I don't have I shouldn't have any input because I didn't watch it.
That's fair. We appreciate you being here, buddy.
You should see it too and not have it spoiled by us talking about it.
It's a banger of an ep.
Banger? Well, I'm going to go watch it probably tomorrow afternoon. I'm hoping my events get rained out from work. So,
ooh, fingers crossed.
A lot of wrestling to catch up on.
Woohoo!
You can find me every Monday night on the Shining Wizards Wrestling Podcast. This past week we had Matt Lance, and this week we have Luke Hawks, who is portraying Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Ringmaster in The Young Rock. So that'll be fun. And we're doing a little Wizards Rewind back to Superstars 1987, November, pre-Survivor Series. So that'll be fun. And then every couple of weeks, I'm doing the Fightful Overbooked New Japan Pro Wrestling show. The Bread Club, me and my man Kieran over there are talking just New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's the only show where I'm not drinking.
Because you record in the afternoon?
Yes, I have to. He is 5 hours ahead, so we have to usually do it at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. So, yeah, that's where you can catch me doing my thing. And, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Now I'm going to go.
Enjoy Dynamite when you see it, Matt. Thanks for joining us. And talking about the pay-per-view, and as Matt said, you can catch him Monday nights on the Shining Wizard every week. On
the Shining Wizard every week.
That's right. And in case you didn't know, like Kate never really knows, but right now there is a Shining Wizards network and there's other shows that are part of it. Yeah. I know, Kate, you had no idea, but we're going to play some words from those shows right now. Stay tuned. We'll be back to talk about Dynamite.
Everyone knows a lot of things can change in the span of 10 years. But when it comes to professional wrestling podcasting, one thing is still guaranteed. The Shining Wizards is the only place to get all the latest wrestling news, interviews with the greatest guests, and of course, tons of laughs in discussing the world of wrestling. The show is still available on Monday nights at 7 p.m. East on rantdmradio.com and Rant Entertainment Media on the TuneIn app. And it's still available on all podcasting platforms. To check us out, head over to shiningwizards.com, where it's still wrestling talk and talk about wrestling.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments.
Horns up, everyone. When on the Shining Wizards Network, be sure every Friday to check out Radioactive Metal. Radioactive Metal is one of the longest running podcasts on the interweb. And every week we bring you a fist full of metal, including interviews with all your favorite artists, discuss all the metal news, and feature the best tunes on the air today. So grab a Lemmy, join your cool Uncle Snowy and co-host Aaron in the pit.
Your recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment broadcasting from the current to the way back. Join the impact player Phil Brea and the Portuguese Man of War Choppy for the Turnbuckle Throwbacks Wrestling Podcast, live every week on rantemradio.com. Get all our episodes over at iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Audio Boom, Google Play, ShiningWizardsNetwork.com, and TurnbuckleThrowbacks.com.
Are you tired of being told what to think and believe by Hollywood elites and politicians who just don't care about you?
Tired of not getting the truth when you watch the news?
Tired of trying to figure out what pronoun to use?
Tired of mob mentality when all you want to do is think for yourself and make up your own mind?
That's where we come in. This is Justin
and Vince,
your hosts of Inconclusive Breakdown.
We are a weekly anti-PC podcast bringing you entertainment and current event news without any spin.
If you want to truly stay informed on what's going on in the world, then give us a listen every Sunday, anywhere you get podcasts, at least till Zuckerberg and Twitter Jack deplatform us.
And as always, we're proud members of the Shining Wizards Network.
Tired of the PC police telling you what you can and cannot say? Want a show that travels back to the 80s and 90s, where the badass hosts have beaten down cancel culture on 3 separate occasions and carried on to gloat about it? Since 2013, The Midnight Jury is that show. Travel back to the malls and arcades, pop in your VHS, and join us where the 80s and 90s return from the dead. Conan, tell them where to find us.
WLWstudios.com, home of the Midnight Jury podcast, hosted by Midnight Mike and Calvin Brody.
Also available on all major podcast platforms via the Shining Wizards Network, and join in the conversation on Twitter at Midnight Jury.
What's up, wrestling fans? You want something awesome? Check out Wrestling Night in Canada here on the Shining Wizards Network. We're 3 Canadian metalheads uniting for the love of pro wrestling. Every episode we go over all the latest news and special events with the odd unique interview as well. So grab a cold one and check out Wrestling Night in Canada, eh?
We're back. Some of us are back here on the Shining Wizards Network on the Mark Order podcast. My God, I've just listened to all the ads and I've got Shining Wizards on the brain.
I got Ryan Laundry on the brain. Boo!
That's right. Boo! Come on, Ryan. Come on. Somebody, I think it was Asian Joe, was like, man, we haven't even touched Rampage and Dynamite. We're not talking about Rampage. There's no point. It led to the pay-per-view. We talked about all of it. So sorry, guys. No Rampage talk tonight. But we will really quickly just pull up the rankings because there are some things in here that are a little crazy. One thing I think is crazy is this picture right here. CM Punk is our champion. But Wardlow is now your number 1 contender. Number 2 is Adam Cole. Hangman Page is hanging in at 3. John Moxley 4. Jay Lethal at 5. Crazy to see how quickly Wardlow jumped up to number 1. I don't think there's anything for a title shot there, but certainly I think there's some TNT shots coming for some of these guys. In the women's division, Nyla Rose somehow is number 1. Britt Baker jumps up to 2 with her win in the tournament. 3 deep for Toni Storm, 5 Statlander. And here you go, Kate. In the tag team division, FTR 1, Mox and Danielson 2. The Hardys are now number 3, so they're climbing the heat charts. And then Team Taz and Lee and Swerve. So a quick look at the rankings. Let us talk about Dynamite because it was quite a show tonight.
My friend is watching it on delay. My friend Brian, who came with us to Arthur Ashe, he's watching it on delay and just texted me and just said, "Whoa, MJF."
Yeah, we're going to talk about all of it. We'll go through the matches pretty quickly here and talk about all the important stuff in between and whatnot. But we lead off the night with CM Punk and FTR versus Max Caster and the Ass Boys. Got to make sure Danhausen gets a nickel. CM Punk and FTR wind up winning by pinfall. Big rig from FTR and the Ass Boys. And then post-match, Punk gets on the mic. He starts talking about, knowing he's got a lot of work to do and a lot of roads to travel, but that's what the championship's all about. You can call him what you want, but you got to call him the champ. Dax gets a little serious and says, wrestling is the most important thing in his life, along with his wife and his child who are in the crowd. And the championships that they carry for Ring of Honor mean a lot to them. He starts talking about people attacking, going behind their back. He calls out Finlay. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know if there's been chatter. Somebody can smart me up, but all of a sudden he mentioned Finlay.
I had no idea either.
I was just like, what is going on? So then Punk gets back on the mic and says, I know Chicago's coming, so let's talk New Japan. He wants to know who he's going to face at the pay-per-view, and it is revealed Tanahashi is there, and we will get Tanahashi and CM Punk at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Let's stop there. And Kate, this is where I'd like you to add some color commentary because Shaboy did not look crisp tonight. There were a few moments. See you, Ryan. There were a few moments that he didn't look great. I think even jumping into the ring at one point, he almost fucking clipped his feet. And that's not just a poke at him. There was a lot of sloppiness in this goddamn match. Yeah. So it's not just him, but it just seemed like the moments that mattered that he was involved with, he did not look crisp. So it was just, for me, I was like, well, that's unfortunate because he's your champ. And this is the first
glad it was
match.
A 6-man that helped a little bit. But yeah, he looked like he got his ass kicked 4 days ago and hasn't recovered yet. He's looking in his 40s. I'll say this. Anthony Bowens is a wheelchair legend. I don't know why in AEW people create stardom out of being in wheelchairs. We saw Britt Baker do it. We're seeing Bowens do it. What a blast. This was a little bit of a clunky start. This was not like the greatest match. Dax looked great. Other than that, there was just like weird chemistry too. Like it just seemed like nothing really clicked in very much on either side, but fine. I think it was fun to have FTR come out with, the Sons of Bret Hart all come out together. That was very fun. And I liked after the match when Punk said, I've never done a drug in my life, but I'm guessing this is what it feels like. And I love that Tex said, I have done those things that you haven't spoken about or that you spoke about and haven't done. And they're great. That popped me huge. But yeah, the match was not great, but it was also inconsequential kind of. So I didn't really care. We knew what the booking was going to be. It got us started. Tanahashi showing up is awesome. I think that'll be really, really fun at Forbidden Door. I think maybe we give Punk a week or two off. He's looking tired. But I think what got set up after this is really cool. And I'm excited to see who FTR fights on the New Japan side, because I'd imagine that is coming up.
Schlong, anything you'd like to add about this opener tonight?
No, I mean they shouldn't have. I mean, part of the advantage of being a champ is you shouldn't have to wrestle every week. So hopefully this was just to set up Tanahashi, because they should give Punk the breaks, especially at his age. I'm not a big New Japan guy, never have claimed to be. So Tanahashi, I'm relying heavily on other people being excited for me to be excited, which I'm fine with, because I think that's part of the fun of AEWs. I don't necessarily know everyone, but if they treat someone like a big deal, then I get excited just off that energy, and now I'll go look into them. And I know Matt will be super excited. So I'm just kind of waiting for that.
I thought it was very fun that there was stuff we knew that Matt didn't today.
Yeah.
Hero returning is cracking me up.
Yeah, Ryan. If you don't know, definitely seek out some Tanahashi. Beyond the great head of lettuce he's got.
And it is.
Oh my God, what flow! Yeah, he can go. That has the potential to be a fantastic, match. So definitely looking forward to the Forbidden Door. And that's kind of the other thing too, guys, right? Now, I think we need to keep in mind, and I think for everybody, now everything we do from here to Forbidden Door is leading us to Forbidden Door. And they don't do a lot of these builds rather quickly, right? But now we're past Double or Nothing. All those builds are over. So we're going to build up to Forbidden Door pretty quickly here. So, so this was the big one. And they didn't have a problem selling tickets. It sold out before anything was even announced. And they kept releasing some extra seats here and there, I guess, wherever they could get clearance to add seats. So if there are still tickets available, if this didn't get you to buy a ticket, I don't know what's going to get you. But anyway, moving on. This is the other big point of the night where we can sort of stop and talk. Commentary brings out, they hype up the card, and then Maxwell Jacob Friedman makes his entrance to the ring. We did hear earlier in the day that he would be at the event and that he was going to speak. So he gets on the mic and says, if you want to talk, he'll talk. But this is Max Friedman talking. He makes it very clear. This isn't MJF. This is Max Friedman. Lots of executives there tonight. Would be a shame if something bad happened, something embarrassing. And speaking of embarrassing, Tony Khan's been trying real hard to make a sit down happen, but it's too little too late. He says when the company started, everyone got handed stories except for him. He created moment after moment without getting respect. No one's on his level. Everything he touches turns to gold. He hits grand slams on a daily or weekly basis. And all the other boys settle for being great, but he has to be perfect because he's 26 and constantly under the microscope, because he's the only one who can carry this company on his back like he has for months. And he starts to ask the fans where the fans were the whole weekend when they were calling him unprofessional and a piece of shit. And if you want a spot, you can have it, because he doesn't want to be here anymore. Says that we call ourselves fans, but we're uneducated marks sitting on our phones, tweeting our opinions, but we don't know shit. Our opinions suck and change at the drop of a dime. And that we pretend he sucked in the ring for a long time. But why? Because he doesn't pretend to watch New Japan or dump his opponents on their heads? He's the best talent in the world. He's not going to pretend otherwise. He calls himself a generational talent that we take for granted. But it's not just us. It's the big man in the back, too. He says he's the second biggest minute-for-minute draw in the company. Just ask Tony Khan, but don't ask him to pay the man who's been working hard since day one. No, TK just hoards all the money so he can give it to all the ex-WWE signings who can't lace their boots. And he says, maybe we don't get it, but here's the problem. TK's in a position of power, but the only person he should be in, or the only position he should be in, is in the crowd with the rest of the smart marks. And he says, I'll make it easy. I want Tony. And he starts to trail off. He does get bleeped on live television. He says, fire me, you fucking mark. And actually, if you go on Twitter, the fight feed is up. Other people are putting it out where it's not edited. and he says, "You fucking Mark, fire me, you Mark, whatever." And then they cut his mic and they go to black. And when we get back, the only thing I want to call out is they don't make mention of any of this. They no-sell the shit out of this. AEW Social is also not posting any footage of this segment at all. So, folks, a pretty fucking fire shoot promo here from MJF. Fantastic. Some of the references he's throwing out. Pretty bold, calling out New Japan when you're getting ready to put a show on with them and saying that it is what it is, and talking ex WWE, and they've mentioned WWE, but this seemed like the first time they really said WWE on air. So this was fucking amazing. And for me, and I definitely want your guys' take, for me, this is doing away with the old MJF that we had and moving into something completely different. This is a new phase of this character that we're resetting here. And I don't know what that character is going to be, if they're going to do something where he just continually is asking to be fired, and we're going to play this out now for 2 fucking years. But this character is wild compared to the old MJF. So Schlong, I'd like your take first, only because we went to Kate with CM shorts tonight. So Schlong, what'd you think of the shoot promo?
So this is one where no matter what you think before, they've clearly now turned it into a work, because you don't go out and get this kind of time and say those kind of things without full approval. I actually had texted Kate at some point when he was being counted down by the tech I guess whatever tech people he has there to tell him he's going to be a commercial. I actually like that he put that into his promo to kind of cover up the fact that, hey, if anyone there is watching this, it's not part of it. I mean, this is one of the best promos I've ever heard. He said some truth, some not truth. It was a great mix of everything. This was awesome. It was, and in ways that I want him to stay in AEW, him coming out with this promo made me feel a lot better, because it makes me feel like, okay, you had to have worked something out, because that's the only way you're allowed to come out and do this. So that made me feel good. I just think this is, and actually makes Punk as champion pretty interesting now, because Punk was that guy who cut a promo similar to this, but now Punk's the face of the company, and I love this company, and this is what I want wrestling to be. And he's an ex-WWE guy who got paid lots of money. Like there's a feud waiting there that is completely different than their first feud. So it provides a lot of interesting pieces. This is going to be talked about for months and years. The interesting thing is they haven't put it on social. They haven't put it on YouTube yet. They're eventually going to. It's just at what point do they? Because they are leaning hard into making this feel real, which I appreciate. That's not an insult. Like, I think that's really cool. But at some point, they're going to have to, because they're going to want the numbers. This is going to do millions of views. So I'm just waiting to see when it happens.
And Kid, I want your take. Mark Will saying in the chat, now I haven't seen this, so I don't know, but apparently during the break, CM Punk confronted MJF until he left. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't really looked into anything because we just jumped straight on. So, Kid, what's your take?
I saw a video of that on Twitter. He kind of like ran him off. That could be because he's planting seeds. It could be because as champion, he's the most important guy in the company to go and do that. And it could also be because the way they cut MJF's mic at the end of it was very reminiscent of the pipe bomb. If you're like, if you've seen the pipe bomb, the first thing you think of, or at least I did, was like, is MJF going to come out with a megaphone next week? Like, this felt very, very reminiscent. Whatever. I truly, for many reasons, feel like this is a shoot that has turned into a work, and you're not good. Why would you leave that money on the table? Like, I think he just earned whatever his new paycheck is in a really, 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 really compelling way. We haven't had anything like this in wrestling for a very long time, maybe since the pipe bomb. I can't remember anything in between that has felt real. I guess maybe the invasion angle when Cody and the Bucks came to WWE headquarters, But even that felt like a little bit staged or planted. This was really, really good. I think it was a mix of how he truly feels. I also appreciated when MJF said that he was in pain, the crowd was cheering. I thought that was really clever and fun. And I also liked that we got kind of a mixed reaction, because I think there's people that can understand where MJF is coming from a little bit, but also there was disrespect to the fans in all of this, right? So it was loud as hell. Like, he got so much heat and reaction, and I thought it was really, really good. And I feel like whether it was a shooter or work, if you don't turn it into one, you're an idiot. Like, this is really, 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 really compelling stuff. So I thought it was great. I think it's the best thing you can do in the situation. I hope that whatever meeting they had was productive and he's here to stick around and is satisfied on a real level. But my God, how would you not go and do this? This is fantastic stuff. So this was extremely, extremely compelling wrestling television to watch.
It's going to be interesting to see where they go next, because clearly they have to go somewhere from here. You don't just make these comments and nothing happens, right? So there has to be something to come out of this.
And it's not like a Wardlow Sean Spears thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that feels, for better or worse, that feels destroyed. I know a lot of people were like, I feel so bad for Wardlow, and I do too, but he got the result he was going to get. I feel really bad for Sean Spears in a lot of this, because he's like a little bit lost now. Like, you can't go back to accountability bullshit after this, you know what I mean? And
Right.
He was doing such a good job as a background character and all this. So of course felt bad for Wardlow, but he's in a good position at the end of the day. Sean Spears is who I feel for, but this was fantastic.
So let's move on from this. And Kyle K. Sparks said it. The best part about this is that immediately following the promo referencing ex-WWE guys, we go to a match between two guys who were famous in the E. And we go to Johnny Elite versus his mystery partner. And before we get to know who that is, they cut to a promo, and it's Miro stepping out of the darkness, talking about becoming closer to God and returning to AEW to help his fellow men redeem them to come back to the kingdom of heaven. But he doesn't want to come home. He wants to come and take his gods, essentially. And the Redeemer is back. And that's when we get Miro answer the challenge from Johnny Elite. No surprise here. Miro wins this match with the game over. But man, Johnny Elite can make you look great. So Miro looked super strong in this. He looks like he's in great shape. I'm sure he enjoyed his recovery time, and he was filming something, and I'm sure he was spending some time with his hot, flexible wife. But man, good to see Miro back, which was so funny that Matt was saying at some point Miro's coming back. So that'll be fun to see.
Wait a few hours, bud.
Yeah, you'll see it. But yeah, I thought this was a great way to bring Miro back, and we were all sort of counting the days until he came back. So it'll be interesting to see what they get him involved with here. He certainly could go back into the TNT title picture. I think they're going to work something else here. You know, maybe let Scorpio shine with that title for a little bit, and then maybe he rips it off him. But who knows? I'm just excited Miro's back. I don't know about you guys.
I'm very excited he's back. I think he would be a very fun opponent for CM Punk as well. Once we clear Forbidden Door and stuff, like, I would love to see a program between the two of them. But I missed him. I missed him on my screen a lot. So very, very glad he's here.
Schlong, anything you want to add about Miro? It's okay.
No, he's awesome. He's been missed. He looks good. Lana kind of spoiled it earlier in the day, being like, oh, there's a reason to watch Dynamite. And then when Johnny Elite came out with his open challenge, I was like, okay, that's obvious. But it wasn't a bad obvious. It was like something I was excited for, because otherwise I was like, what are we doing here? So this was a lot of fun, and he's got a bunch of feuds he can walk into right now, and it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I think Miro's clearly an all elite guy, but again, what is going to happen in the world of Ring of Honor? They're going to need to fill out not the roster necessarily, but they're going to need to set stuff up with Ring of Honor. He can clearly go down and run shit over Ring of Honor guys. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with Miro. Again, I clearly think he's an all elite guy, but there's a lot of possibility where you go with him. We do get Jericho Appreciation Society coming out and talking up their domination in the Anarchy in the arena. Danielson threatened to kick his head in, but Hager choked him out and they lost the match. That's when Kate's boy toy Eddie Kingston and William Regal come out. And Kingston's ready to fight right now. But he gives the mic to Regal and says 3 simple words: blood and guts. And Jericho says he's not getting blood and guts. And that's when he sicks the other guys on Eddie Kingston because he's an idiot. But Ortiz appears behind Jericho in the ring and then gets hit with a mad ball and then removes a pair of scissors to cut a lock of Jericho's hair off and then makes the escape. So Chris is now fired up and says he'll give him blood and guts, but he wants something too. He wants to have a hair versus hair match versus Ortiz first. So we go to break with that. Hilariously, well, maybe not so hilariously, but very telling timing where Jericho in the match at the pay-per-view was caught, I guess, by a lot of people in some uncompromising positions showing he's thinning, folks. He's an older guy. So maybe he's going to lose his hair. Who knows? But listen, blood and guts, right? So what we're setting up right now, they didn't give us the date at this point in time, but we did find out it's going to be in Michigan. I think follow the week after Forbidden Door, I think they said. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's it. So if you're in the area, definitely make sure to check it out. But they also, guys, at this point weren't 100% sure of who was going to be with Eddie Kingston, only because he kind of said it, like Danielson hates him. He
tried to set Danielson on fire.
Right. Well, true. And he wasn't really sure where everybody stood. So at this point in the night, we're not sure who the blood and guts is going to be with. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. So I don't know if there's too much to call out here, guys, if you'd like to add anything, but looking forward to this blood and guts and seeing what some of these the new talent can do in the blood and guts match.
I will just say that he's not my boy toy. He's just a sexy boy. And Jericho alluded to Eddie setting them on fire, and he goes, "What kind of man burns another man?" And I popped tremendously for that. And I also just think it was like perfectly sports entertainery for him to be like, "You're not getting blood and guts," and then you fuck with his hair, and he's like, "How dare you? I will enter a blood and guts match because you cut a lock of my hair." Like, what could be more important to him than that? What a fantastic justification. But I thought that was very fun. And also, Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Luke cut a serious promo and on social, and it's great. It's worth seeking out if you haven't seen it. It was really, really, really strong stuff.
Schlong, anything here from you? I just don't want to.
I don't know who's going to win the hair versus hair match, because Ortiz, I could easily see him just going for like a shaved look. Not that he's going bald, but he doesn't like the way he does his hair. I could just see him going all the way shaved. But then again, Jericho is clearly being set up to lose. It's just the first time I'm in a hair versus hair match where I'm like, I'm not 100% sure that heel loses.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious if he came out with like a ridiculous sports entertainer wig.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? That would fantastic. Be so much fun if the next week he was in that.
Oh man, imagine this. A bandana and just the hair, like a wiggy hair, almost like the Hogan or the Bret Michaels, lock coming out the back of it. Oh my God, that would be fucking great.
There could be a lot of fun shit with that.
We get Christian Cage, Darby Allin, Jurassic Express, and Matt Hardy versus Hikuleo and the Undisputed Elite in a 10-man tag match. Cutting to the end here, Hikuleo and the Undisputed Elite win with the Meltzer driver from the Bucks on Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Post-match, Christian and Matt Hardy are helping Jungle Boy up, and Matt Hardy actually is consoling Jungle Boy a little bit, and that's when Christian Cage kind of steps in to separate them, and escorts Jungle Boy out. So it looks like maybe a little bit of an issue here forming with Christian Cage and Matt Hardy, or Jurassic Express and Matt Hardy. Don't know where they're going to go with this. I mean, obviously the Hardy boys are third-ranked team now, so we'll see. But a lot of fun moments in this match. I didn't think it was a terrible match. Sometimes these matches can get crowded, but again, Darby doing Darby, just being a fucking madman. Hikuleo almost ending his own life, landing on his head on the fucking ground. Just some really good action here. I thought this was a fun match, and maybe we're getting a look at what's next for Jurassic Express. So, Ryan, any thoughts here?
It's a fun match. Hikuleo was kind of a random throw-in, but I don't mind it. I'm glad they gave Jeff the night off, and it's kind of interesting to see that it's Christian's almost like possessive of Jungle Boy, and they're probably going to be like the rising star thing, like he's trying to hold on to the rising star, which is not where I thought it was going, but I'm very interested in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they explained too, Hikuleo was there taking the place for Adam Cole because Adam Cole's a little banged up. Adam Cole also joined commentary, was a lot of fun on commentary, saying he was excited to be there, except that he had to sit next to Shivani. But yeah, they said he called in a favor from Jay White to get his Bullet Club buddy in this match. So they explained it loosely. But I mean, man, here's what I didn't realize. Kate, did you realize Hikuleo was taller than fucking Luchasaurus? Because that shocked me. I knew he was tall, but not that tall.
I think I knew he was like I figured they were about the same height, but yeah, he is a really, really, really big dude. My notes, this was like at the top of the hour-ish, and I was like, this is a really good place for this match, because I said in my notes right before this that Dynamites after pay-per-views feel like what Raw after Mania used to feel like, where it was just like a season opener after a season wrapped up, and this came in so hot that this match felt like a nice kind of reprieve from that in a way, and I felt like was really nicely situated on tonight's card, which was important because it was just like pressing the gas from beginning to end. So it was nice to kind of have this breather, and to your point, it wasn't as like clumsy or overwrought as a lot of these matches can get. Still at its spots, but I don't know, it didn't feel as crowded or sloppy, so I liked it.
We get a couple segments here. A quick segment with Keith Lee and Swerve in the back with their entourage. And they basically go on to say they didn't win, their chance on Sunday, but they will continue. They will be back. So we'll continue to see more of those guys, which was good. But then we get Athena interviewed by Shivani. She says, she's happy to finally say she's all elite. And the competition of the top tier women's division, and specifically dominant Jade Cargill, is, impressive. She wants to have a real talk moment because all streaks are made to be broken, and she's going to break Jade's. And that's when Jade Cargill enters with Stokely Hathaway and the baddies to say she's that bitch. And that's when Big Stoke gets on the mic, and he complains about being interrupted on his debut. Says it's his job as her publicist to let everyone know she's a queen, a goddess, and the TBS champ. He knows she wants her title shot, but not today. And that's when Kiera Hogan steps up. Anna Jay and Chris Statlander come out. Stokely separates everybody and asks for security to come out, and things are, sort of settled going into break. We do find out later that we're going to get Athena debut on Friday night versus Kiera Hogan, so that has good potential. And yeah, so Athena's here and she's all elite. She got the full treatment with the graphic on Sunday and everything. So should be interesting. Should be interesting to see kind of what they do with Athena here. I think it's a good starting spot to go up against Jade. I think she could and probably should be the one to take that title off Jade. It's the only one that makes sense right now to me. So yeah, I didn't have a problem with this. Especially because Stokely did what he was brought in to do, right? Talk for her. So it's perfect. This is everything we've wanted, right, Kate?
Yeah, this is great. And I think I know that Stokely gives a shit, so I know that, like, hopefully that means somebody is there giving a shit about the women's division, which is good. I think him being a publicist and not a full manager leaves room for two things. Perhaps him and Mark Sterling in some mic segments, which could be really fun. And also, I feel like him being a publicist and not a manager also leaves room for Jade to drop the title, because otherwise you have a manager with someone who just lost. Like, that doesn't look good on your managerial record, right? So maybe it's a thing where he's her publicist and she loses, and then, you know, he says to Smart, like, what has Smart Mark really done for you lately? Like, I can help you get back to where you need to go or whatever, or something like that. So I think that could be super fun. We got a nice, like, appetizer of what I think Stokely can do. Kind of out of your playbook, and obviously calling her like a goddess and a queen. Like, you haven't been doing that her entire stay here in AEW. So, like, maybe get like more creative material. But honestly, like, I think it's going to be really good. And I also liked the visual of Jade and Athena. Athena looked so much shorter than her. So when they faced off, it was just like, holy crap, you really did have like a towering giant. And Athena, who is like a presence, but definitely a lot shorter than Jade. So this was fun. And I think Jade was in heels as well. So
Yeah.
I like this. I think this is good. I hope it can go somewhere fun.
Schlong, you the only thing I want to ask you, I mean, you can comment on anything, but you know, you've obviously seen a lot of Kira Hogan on Dark. Kira Hogan, Athena, does that get you going?
I think Kara Hogan's way better than she's given credit for. I don't know why they haven't been using her until the baddies. But yeah, that should be a real fun match. I think she'll give Athena a real good match, and Athena's very good. And also, Stokely needs to expand beyond Jade. He needs to have other people, Dante Martin, because he's not wasted on Jade. He's wasted if he's just with Jade. He's good enough to have multiple people he can represent.
Well, this is just his first dip in the pool, so we'll see what else they can do with Big Stoke. And also, didn't come up before because we weren't really talking about Jade, but in the media scrum post pay-per-view, she got asked about Sunny Kiss, and I guess maybe the question was, you know, any chance that we can get Sunny Kiss to work in with the group? And she, you know, she had nothing but great things to say about Sunny. She loves Sunny and all that stuff, but it's just, she's like, it's too crowded. Like, we're just sort of getting going. And that was even something that Mrs. Money said, you know, I think watching some of this tonight was like, man, Sunny would be great here. And I was like, oh, I know, like, but she has valid point. You know, they just are getting going. It is a little crowded with Red Velvet and with Kira. You know, now we're going to maybe insert Sunny. So it would make perfect sense. He could be a total fucking baddie in that club.
I hate questions like that because she can't say yes.
I
She
know.
can't be like, yeah, that's our plan. Like,
Right.
but
I mean, even if it was something telling, like, I would love to work with Sunny, but she was as straightforward as she could be. She's like, it's too fucking crowded. She's like, there's
just
no room.
formed. Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe we'll get there one day. That would be so much fun. Fucking baddie Sunny Kiss.
Hell yeah.
She'll be great. Guys, we go to JD Drake versus Wardlow. No surprise here. Wardlow wins his first official match as an AEW talent with the Powerbomb Symphony, which isn't easy to do. JD Drake is not a tiny dude. And then Schiavone goes into interview Wardlow, but Smart Mark Sterling comes in with security and serves Wardlow with a class action lawsuit on behalf of the American Arena Security Professionals. The best part about this is, as the security guy is getting into the ring, Wardlow says into the mic, "This guy doesn't watch the product." I laughed hard. Nobody, it seems like, in the crowd caught it. But Wardlow takes the paperwork, powerbombs security guard, to which point Smart Mark Sterling says, "Don't, he has kids." And then he tears up the papers and shoves them in the guard's mouth. So I think, guys, the only thing I want to say here is I think it's a ton of fun. Now bringing what Smart Mark Sterling was doing on his social with those videos about the lawsuits, and now it's being played out in a story. So I'm interested to see where it goes. Who knows? Scorpio Sky hypes up his match against Dante Martin. So they're going to get that match on Friday Night Rampage. Dante Martin versus Scorpio Sky for the title. We move on to Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter versus Ruby Soho and Toni Storm. And Ruby and Toni get their receipts here. Win by pinfall with the reverse chinlock. What do they call it? Destination Unknown?
Yes.
Whatever that finishing move of hers is. And Britt Baker takes the pin. So the receipt is there. Post-match, Jamie Hayter blasts Ruby with the Owen belt, as well as Toni Storm. So this isn't over. We'll see where it goes. Kate, just only because you've been so critical of the women tonight with the way some of it was handled at the pay-per-view. What did you think about this match tonight? Any better from what we saw at the pay-per-view out of these,
Yeah, I mean, my complaint with Ruby and Britt at the pay-per-view was mostly the booking choice, and that last stretch wasn't great. But the rest of the match I thought was very good. And I thought this match was actually a ton of fun. I thought there were a lot of really great spots. There was like a spike DDT or something on the apron, and then Ruby went flying right after. That was really, really cool spot. But this was good. It just it just feels like a win in a way less important spot in a way less important way. So, but the match was great. Toni Storm looks great. Like she's looked really, really strong in the ring. She's a total babe. She's been a lot of fun since she's come in, and she's felt important since she's come in. So there are things of that like that are hopeful, but really solid match. Just kind of feels like a little bit of a letdown, since like it's hard to believe they're ever going to do anything with Ruby at this point.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because I don't remember who it was who said it on Twitter, if they posted, if they responded to something we said or the Wizards or somebody, but somebody said something, maybe it was just on my feed. Somebody said something about, hey, with this women's division now, with Toni Storm, with Ruby, with, Athena now coming in, like hopefully now, we can move forward with this division. And I think my only response was, well, maybe TK won't put them in the death slot of like, the 9:30 hour. And maybe they cut some of the men's shit and give more time to women. Clearly that hasn't happened yet since this match took place at 9:30. But we did get a segment out of the women of, no, it was after 9 o'clock. So nothing has changed yet.
Even though like the Jade segment was right before that, right? So it's like the same. I also want to put over Stokely's Twitter. If you're not following him, you're making a big, big mistake.
Yeah.
It's a circle.
I want to put over, if you're a fan of Jamie Hayter's Cooley, this is the match to check out.
Yeah, that cameraman was.
Holy moly. Jeez.
Dear Lord, there were some zoom-ins on her booty.
If you got it, flaunt it, I guess. Schlong, anything you want to add to this match?
No, I really liked it. I thought it was a great tag match. I think they have the division now to have a tag division. I think they have enough women. They can make some teams. It would give them another match to have every week, which they need. You could have your A story. Because they refuse to do non-title feuds, you could have 3 feuds going at all times. They would involve the title, but at least you'd have 3 things going. So yeah, they need to go that route. And you could have Ruby be one of the tag teams, and that'd be perfect. At least she has a belt then.
Especially if Sasha Banks walks from WWE.
Yeah. So we're going into our main event. They do show some of the star power in the crowd, guys. We get Vince Vaughn and noted wrestling fan Macaulay Culkin. The only thing that was missing was Macaulay Culkin doing the Home Alone.
The face.
That would have been so fucking great. Anyway, main event time. Daniel Garcia versus Jon Moxley. What a match this was. Moxley does win by submission with the Bulldog choke. He puts out Garcia, so Garcia doesn't tap. He passes out. Referee stops. And then post-match, Mox does get on the mic and say that if Jericho wants blood and guts, because Jericho does try to run in, but Eddie comes down and almost kills himself, but makes the save. And that says that, if they want blood and guts, he'll be there. So that's exciting. We know we'll see Mox in a blood and guts match, and it'll be fun to see what he can do in that environment. My biggest problem with this match, guys, was that clearly when Mox was on the ground, you could see him reaching for his blade to zip himself.
Yes, I noticed that too.
I was like, oh man, the magic. It's like seeing how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a fun match. And just to me, Ryan, I'm going to put this to you first for your take, because again, seeing Garcia a lot on Dark, and on TV and otherwise, we saw Garcia, in Philly at the New Japan show some time ago. Isn't it great to see Garcia getting the time in the main event spot and really having his talent recognized? To me, this is very much the same as us getting to see Wheeler in a bunch of high profile matches. Granted, I don't think all of them were in like main event slots, but still working Danielson, working Moxley. Now Garcia is getting that rub, and a guy who deserves it because he fucking showed what he had in the match tonight. I mean, he's shown it before, but this was fantastic, I thought, out of Garcia.
He's incredible. He's an amazing wrestler. I think the thing Jericho's done for him, though, is the personality more than the wrestling. Whereas Yuta needed to be built up as the wrestler that he is. Jesus Christ, Garcia needed to be built up as the personality that he has. But the nice thing is, for all the personality he's gained, he could still go out and have this match with Moxley, and people will be like, oh, okay, he does it all.
Right.
He can make me laugh with his stupid reactions and comments, but now he can also go out and have an amazing match and cause, just mayhem around the ring. It was perfect. And then Eddie Kingston almost dying running down the ramp. If he had fallen, I don't know how they even end the night, because I don't think people would have stopped laughing, especially being Eddie Kingston. So the fact that he caught himself enough to get Jericho's legs was all you needed. But my God, it was so close to being admittedly one of the funniest disasters I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I failed to mention too here, Kate, Jericho and oh my God, fuck, I lost his name at commentary tonight. Jericho and William Regal on commentary. Sorry, and Jericho had on his Kangol to hide his spot where his hair got cut off. Fucking great. So that was a lot of fun. But the other thing too, Kate, I want to pose is they actually said in the media scrum for Double or Nothing, Jericho was being asked about 2.0 and Garcia, and if that was like a conscious thing. And I think he kind of made mention to long story short, that I think they were starting to maybe line up to separate those three guys. But when they started talking about the idea of this, or the idea sort of came about, that Jericho kind of said to TK, like, why would we separate them? They've been so great together. Let's just pull them all over together. And it wound up fucking working out gangbusters. So just something to note to you, but certainly your take on this match.
Match was fantastic. I think Eddie is falling for me. So sometimes that causes you to trip, because he was falling for yours truly. This match was great. I love Garcia's whole what's funny about the sports entertainer thing is I love the pro wrestler that Daniel Garcia is. The selling on the way down to the ring with the nasty face that he had on was so great. The match was fantastic. I figured it would be with these two. And then in the post-match too, I loved Moxley saying, Eddie, you're hard to love. But I do, and I'm going to be in blood and guts with you. And I also like, because there was a rift between the Blackpool Combat Club and LAX 2.0 or whatever, that like it's not assumed who's going to be in this blood and guts match. I think that leaves room for Wheeler to come back in if they wanted to do that, since Danielson already had his whack at it. I could see Danielson being like, I'm not fucking doing this with this guy who tried to set me on fire. That seems wrong. But I just think it's an absolute blast of a way to close out what was a really, really strong episode. And yeah, I mean Daniel Garcia, we said it, when pillars grow into walls, new pillars have to form, right? And I think you're seeing Daniel Garcia be there. I feel like Starks is a little bit further ahead. Like the only reason he's not a pillar is because he wasn't original, but like he's there. It's nice to see this next crop of guys. Wheeler, certainly. This next grouping just continuing to come along. It's really good stuff.
Well, it was a really fun episode to follow up the pay-per-view, and I think, as we said before, keeping in mind what they're leading to now for the Forbidden Door show, I'm sure we're in for a few more maybe surprises along the way, and we'll see some of the other guys who are part of it. But certainly, if we can fit Garcia into the card somewhere, I will take it. Also, I mean, he's worked New Japan, on the United States side, so it would only make sense maybe for him to be involved in the show, and he certainly can go. I only have a couple things to mention here in news and notes. One thing I definitely want to talk about. The other is there were a couple posts by the Hangman post loss at the pay-per-view. And while, maybe some of the storytelling leading into the build of that match got cloudy, is he a heel? Is he a face? Is Punk a face? Is he a heel? Clearly him not using the title cemented him as like a baby face, knowing what's right, what's wrong, right? On Twitter, he posted, I've had a while to reflect on my time as AEW champion now that it's come to an end. Thank you all, not for supporting me, but for supporting the vision. It's not about the gold or the glory. It's about the common love and dignity with which we treat each other, change the world. And something to note, guys, I saw it somewhere else, but I looked at some of the, you read the comments, right? It's amazing to see how many people were actually pretty positive back to that post. So it really just shows you what a babyface wrestler he is. So at some point he'll turn heel and it'll be fucking great. But
probably in Kenny, right?
Oh yeah. So he had that, and then he also put up a picture of himself with the title on the ring on Instagram, and put a quote from, I think it was a Kenny Rogers, I think it was The Gambler, and it said, the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. So those are the words from Hangman after his loss, so I'm assuming we're not going to see him for a little bit. He'll take some time, and we'll figure out what's next. But that's the Hangman, ultimate babyface. Gotta love it.
Yeah, and I think that didn't surprise me either, because I felt like the edginess was to add dimension to a face-on-face battle, right? Like it wasn't necessarily that one of these guys had to turn right now. It was to add layers to make the story work out.
Well, guys, here's what I want to talk about. This was the news that caught my attention this week regarding former apparently AEW talent Jake Atlas.
Yeah.
What a wild story. Ryan, have you seen this? I'm only asking because I
actually haven't, to be quite honest.
Buddy.
Here's the story. Strap in. So obviously he had his knee injury in his first televised match in January. So he's been off TV, but he was arrested on Monday, May 23rd for misdemeanor battery domestic violence charge. Now, to those people who don't know, he's a homosexual, nothing wrong with that. But this is where the story kind of gets really weird. So police documents and I think court documents say that the arrest came because of an incident that started Sunday night at an Orlando bar. Atlas was drinking at a bar with friends when he called his partner to join them. And when his
partner is Duke Hudson in NXT.
Yes. So when his partner arrived, he tried to get Jake to leave the bar, but Atlas convinced him to go with him to a female friend's house to engage in sexual activities. So the partner and a few friends relocated to this friend's house, and they kept drinking, and eventually Atlas became angry when his partner showed more attention to their female friend than him. Now, it doesn't say whether that was anything sexual. I mean, who knows?
Sounds it.
Could be, but a verbal argument started, and Atlas, quote, became physically aggressive and charged at his partner. A friend tried to stop Atlas twice, convincing him to go home and sleep it off. But when his partner left, Atlas followed him, and the ensuing altercation left his partner with a scratched forearm, torn shirt, which were cited as probable cause for the domestic violence charge. So what a wild story. He's going to be arraigned for the charge on June 28th. He's had no public comments, but I believe he has been removed from the AEW roster page. They haven't, I don't think, made a formal announcement on anything, but man, domestic violence is domestic violence is domestic violence. What a wild, weird story, huh?
A weird one. And I cover NXT every week. I didn't know Duke Hudson was gay, and that hurts as a straight female because he's not unattractive. But sure. This was weird. Jake Atlas has had his run-ins with like mental health issues in the past, and it seemed like they were resolved, and now it seemed like perhaps maybe those aren't, and it led to a really, really ugly and weird situation. Very weird situation. Yeah, the crazy part about this story is the engaging in sexual activities piece, and then like the details get fuzzy around the attention to the friend. Yeah, what does that mean?
Like, was it just you were hanging out and like with a whole group of people drinking and he started just paying more attention to her, or was it some sort of not weird, but was it some sort of sexual
like
situation,
sexual relations,
right?
Yeah.
That like, you know, his partner was just spending more time with the lady friend.
Sometimes we need a little more attention paid to us, all right?
Listen, I get it. We all need attention sometimes, but this whole thing too, for me, becomes a little comical, not because of what happened. Domestic violence, not funny. But what's funny about this to me is this is very Florida man arrested for.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
like what a crazy story.
If a crocodile was involved, that's the only way it gets more Florida. Yeah.
Oh my God, 100%. If a crocodile bit somebody, wild stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, Jake Atlas probably won't be seeing him on TV.
Short run in the AEW.
Very short. I guess maybe he had some medical stuff that he got maybe help with, but.
About it.
Not anymore. So yeah, that was the biggest weird story I saw come out from the week, because everything else has clearly been about the pay-per-view. But guys, that's it. I know we had a long one tonight talking about Double or Nothing. These post shows for us after the pay-per-view tend to be long because we got to talk about the pay-per-view. But it was a fun week so far from AEW, and Friday night looks like it's going to be a pretty good show. So
hell yeah.
Leading to Double or Nothing. Leading to Forbidden Door in the end of June.
I'll also just throw out
as
a note. It's been confirmed that Sasha Banks and Naomi's suspension is unpaid, which means their contracts are not frozen. So, and both sides are not speaking. So it looks like they are going to let Sasha Banks walk out of their company, which is interesting. She could very well not wrestle if she doesn't want to, but she seems like she likes to wrestle. So just something to keep an eye on, because that's bound to get more and more interesting as we get closer to their actual contracts expiring, because I thought they were freezing them, but if it's unpaid, that's not a frozen contract.
Well, again, it would just be an amazing situation of not knowing what to do with your talent, where they could just walk out the door and go somewhere else and just be ridiculous. Now, listen, I'm not as high on Naomi as I would be on Sasha Banks. I'm not even super high on Sasha Banks, but I see the upside. I see the upside of Sasha Banks more than I do Naomi. Sure. Right? So if you have the ability out there to snatch up Sasha Banks or Naomi, I'm going Sasha Banks. But again, I'm not not super high on Sasha Banks, so she doesn't do it for me.
That's silly.
Sorry, it's me. Also, just about the MJF thing.
Ryan
This is
keeps
truly it.
getting closer in the bottom frame. It's so weird. It's like you were starting back here, and then you were like here, and you're like,
By the end, I'll be right on it.
oh god.
He's also making sure his camera doesn't move by just moving forward, not off to the side. There was also, I saw some news about the whole MJF thing, was that I guess Wade Keller had said to somebody that Vinnie Mac is so high on MJF that even if the recent issues are real, like and his stuff about standing them up and whatnot, that he would still offer him something way lucrative. So, nobody really knows what the fuck is going on or was going on. Who knows? But yep, that's it for us tonight, guys. So Kate, I know you got a ton of stuff going on.
Oh my god.
Plug it.
Okay, so tomorrow I have off, but Friday I have the AEW Rampage and SmackDown post show on Fightful, and I'll probably end up hopping on Fightful Select Sour Graps because that just seems to be the way of the world. Saturday I have the In Your House NXT review on Fightful Main, and then Sunday I have commentary at Excite Wrestling, where I will be working in the phrase 23 skidoo into commentary, and then I immediately go from that into Hell in a Cell and the Paperwall pay-per-view post show. Say that 10 times fast on Fightful Select. So tomorrow I have off, and then you have to deal with me a lot if you are subscribed to Fightful.
Sorry, guys.
It's a lot of
for the people who have to deal with
a lot
that.
of Kate.
Schlong, what are you up to when you're not here? Anything?
Not really. You can find me Mondays and Tuesdays live tweeting Dark and Elevation at Mark Order Pod, and then I do this podcast Wednesday, and that's basically all I do. I don't have 30 pods like some people.
It's true. You're a smart man. I'll say this. You can follow us on any of our social, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, at Mark Order Pod on all social. And I didn't do it before because we were just trying to get to Dynamite, but you can hit up our link tree in all our social accounts to connect to any of our socials. They're all linked there. But most importantly, you can request some free stickers just by clicking the request free stickers button. No, Kate, you don't need to pay for shipping.
Cutting all my bits out tonight.
Well, I'm just trying to get us to the end. I know it's been a long show. So just send us your name, your address, and the country you live in, and I will send those out. And guys, I don't know if you saw it come through. I have to send it out. The holiday Monday really threw me off, and work was crazy yesterday and today because of the short week. We got a request from Ireland. So top of the morning to you. I'm going to be going international again with our stickers. I don't remember the gentleman or lady's name who submitted that, so my apologies. If you're listening, they're going to be on the way. The holiday here.
And thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening, yes. And we do appreciate everybody who listens. If you listen in podcast form, thank you. Please make sure wherever you're listening, you rate, subscribe, review, anything you can to help us out. And as I said earlier in the show, if you're listening in podcast form, you need to go back and watch this. All of these videos are on our YouTube page. Please give us a subscribe there if you can. Help us spread the word. All these videos stay up on our YouTube. The first, within the first 10 or 15 minutes of the show, an RR comes into one of the video frames, and it is creepy. There's not a lot of audio there, but you should definitely check it out. So if you don't watch us, you should just try giving it a shot. There's a lot of crazy stuff. Ryan's camera tonight just doing whatever the hell it wants. We just wanted to show major guns, but it won't.
I had to switch outfits.
That's right. You did switch outfits. What a day. So thank you to everybody who has listened tonight. Everybody in the chat, Kyle K. Sparks, Rob Humphrey, Mark Quill, Asian Joe, Gordon Post, Marcos was in here hanging out too.
Berg was in for a minute.
Berg was? How do I always miss Berg's stuff?
Kind of pops in and out.
I know Berg.
I know.
But like we know Berg.
He's no G, yeah.
That's right. So thank you to everybody who is hanging out, watching in the chat, and hanging out and chatting We see you guys talking to each other. We think that's awesome. So yeah, come back next week. Oh, okay, you good?
Yeah, I'll tell you off air.
No, it looked like something
No, I wasn't gonna puke. I was trying to stifle my laughter.
All good. So tune in next week. We'll be back with the Mark Order podcast on a Wednesday night. Goodbye and good night on the Shining
Schlong,
Wizards
good
Network.
night.
Oh, there it is. He finally got it. Hey-o. See you next week.
This concludes the Mark Order podcast. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Join the Mark Order.